man, he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Saturday Night. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're all doing and living well. And welcome to this special Winning Saturday Night, the Alien Tech Disclosure event live. Yes, we'll be going over to the supposed big whistleblower event on News Nation to cover this gentleman named Jack. What's his name? Oh, not me. Let's see. Yeah, it's Jack Barber. Jack Barber. Jack doesn't need a barber. He evidently was a helicopter pilot, and he is going to tell all about alien technology retrieval. And we will talk more about that in a second after I thank all of these awesome people in the Winner's Circle. That is our membership crew down there that keeps the channel rolling month after month with their generous donations. So thank you so much for being part of the Winner's Circle, and special thanks to Shelly and Wolfram, who support us over on Rumble as well. We are broadcasting live tonight on YouTube, Rumble, and X. And away we go. Let's say hello to this awesome crowd out here. Wow, lots of people already in the chat talking. Yay. Yeah, all right. Hey, Levy, what's up, my man? How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Yes, we are covering it. There's Pothead Kenny. What's up, Pothead Kenny? Good to see you, my friend. Heidi, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you. Check it out. I'm just rolling down the comments here all over the place. We got rumblers going on. And wow, before I can even get down to, we got to introduce Wolfram here. Okay, Wolfram, thanks for dropping these links. Remember, when you're here to always listen to the Wolf, he knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, he lopes in, and he howls. And that's how you know the Alpha Mod is in the house. Wow, lots of people talking here. See, Jacob Castro, I see you over there. Shelly talking trash and truth is here. Welcome to the show, guys. Arby, what's up? Welcome to the show, Arby. Make sure you guys drop Arby's link out in the chat. He's trying to grow a channel over there, so we'll help him out. Thank you so much, Arby. Glad that you're here. And let's see. Okay, yes, and let's get on to man, I love it when the show starts like this.
Oh my!
Pothead Kenny, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Monday, I start vids, exercising to get in shape for you on journey to Chicago from Kentucky. You decide the charity. I want nothing. Okay, I got to think about that. What charity should we go with? Oh man, let me consult with the team here, and we will come up with a charity for you. Yep, it was me all along. It was me, guys. Yeah, I disclosed it last week. Yeah, I'm the whistleblower. Yeah, I've been working with Stephen Greer the entire time. My job was to get out here and to cause questioning, and then come back around and then finally admit it once the NDAs expired, thanks to the precedent set by Dr. Stephen Greer or something like that. I can't remember what exactly it was. Cool Gamer, what's up, my friend? How you doing? It was me all along. Yes, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I've been living in underground bases, doing tech work on alien technology for decades now, and I'm just gonna come out and say it. Yeah, that's what it is. Yes, and T-Rex makes a good point. Make sure you guys do have, because of the content type we're going to be going over tonight, make sure you do have your zebra badges ready. Remember, if we go into a full code zebra alert, that you will be executed if you do not speak. If you speak and do not have a zebra badge, because then our wolf will identify you as someone who shouldn't be there. And of course, we do the zebra alert. If it comes up, we have to take out everybody who's not supposed to be there, per the rules. I didn't make these rules up. All right. And then we have to call Moscow and ask him what the hell's going on. All right. So after that, then we can stand down the zebra alert. So hopefully the admiral won't panic and that won't happen. But if it does, be ready. Have your zebra badges. You can also change into your, as you see here, avatar with zebra on it, and that just kind of keeps you well protected just in case we do go to full code zebra alert. But we will be going over to this News Nation exclusive here, and I just want to say before we do, and that's why I started a little early tonight, so we make sure we catch it live. Which I was kind of thinking, maybe I shouldn't catch it live, but then again, it's a live event, so we have to catch it live. Why not? But I will say that we found out the day. Okay, Stephen Greer, he started his new podcast last on the 15th, the day the disclosure was supposed to happen, and then he's kind of co-opted. He's kind of co-opted this dude. So we have yet to see if there's any real relationship going on between him and the guy that's going to be featured tonight that's been on News Nation. Now, let me bring this up, and I'm going to rush into this because we're going to be short on time. But here we go. I just want to show you this real quick so you understand. All right, this dude over here, right here, this guy, right? This guy is the guy over on News Nation who's kind of like he's been running this with this story, right? And you see this guy down here in the corner right here. That's this Jack Barber guy. He's a helicopter pilot. A little off the story that we've been hearing from Stephen Greer, just slightly embellished on his end as far as this goes. So you'll get to know this guy here. We'll do a quick introduction with this video, and then I want to be able to sprint over for the live event. It's supposed to go live at 8, so we have about 7 minutes. So this should work out really good.
Can I say I'm very convinced that Jake Barber is a former top tier 1 military personnel. He served at the highest levels of the U.S. military, the U.S. Air Force. His service is corroborated by
Lefty,
3
what's
people
up? How
on
you
the
doing,
program,
brother?
and 2 of his colleagues who've worked with him on what he euphemistically refers to as the range where these objects were recovered, backing his story. And they are also former tier 1 operatives, the very highest elite of the U.S. military. We've been able to confirm Mr. Barber's service with him. We've been with him when he's gone to give evidence to the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, and we've been watching over his shoulder as he's also briefed AARO, the Pentagon's UFO office. And it's quite clear everyone's taking his information very seriously. The big question is anybody going to do anything about it?
What's an HI?
Non-human intelligence.
You want to take that question? NHI stands for non-human intelligence.
That is a buzzword and a half right now, isn't it, guys? Can you not turn around and hear that now?
It's basically, Chris, the vernacular that's used now to describe something that is not of human origin, basically a biological specimen or a technology that's created by something that is intelligent but is not human.
What do you make of that, Lou?
Well, look, if this turns out to be legitimate, then you're talking about a story that's probably even bigger than the 2017 story the New York Times wrote when I first came out and some of my colleagues. This is a tier 1 operator. So think of the best, people who've been psychologically evaluated on a regular continuing basis. They have top secret security clearances. They take drug tests, polygraph examinations, and they are really America's best of the best. They're our finest operators in special operations. So whenever anything bad goes down, these are the folks that you call to go and fix it. And so when you have someone of his caliber coming out to have this conversation with the American people, that says a lot. People better be paying attention. If it turns out what he...
In the interview, he says, I'm a helicopter pilot, so the closest I got was the end of a rope on a helicopter to lift it up, but was told that this is not. He said it looked like an egg, so if you saw the thumbnail, that was the reference there. He said it looked like an egg, and I was like, I think I've heard this story before, but I'll let it finish. But I got to do something first, so we're going to let this finish, and we got to do this. Miles, what's up? Miles, how you doing? Thank you for the membership. We haven't even met and you're already a member, man. Thank you so much. I don't know where you heard about us from or how long you've been hanging out, but man, thank you so much for being here and thank you for becoming a member. Your support is greatly appreciated and you will be added to the members banner that I reference every single show. And I always thank my members for their support. Let's see. Oh, Straight Up Miles. There we go. Straight Up Miles. Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Awesome of you. Awesome of you. Welcome to the show. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We'll have a good time tonight. Cool. Hey, there's Nacho Kitty. What's up, Nacho Kitty? How you doing? Let's get back to this report. We're running out of time.
He's saying is legitimate. This is going to be perhaps one of the biggest stories, frankly, over the last 50 years, perhaps.
I hope so.
Ross, what are the questions for you after what we'll learn in the special tomorrow night?
Look, the simple fact is that there's a problem, Chris. The Pentagon is consistently trying to evade answering questions on this subject. They've told us that they have confirmed that Jacob Barber's claims have been made, that they're aware of the claims, but they're maintaining their persistent claim that there is no evidence of any programs regarding the possession of reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials. And
there was another guy that came out, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he came out with a bunch of stuff that they let him talk too, but it wasn't really ever confirmed. He made a lot of accusations, a lot of claims that were never that were disputed in a lot of areas. So I'm wondering if this is like part 2 of that.
I can tell you, Mr. Barber has overwhelming evidence. That evidence was provided originally to Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick by a member of his team, including imagery. And for some reason, that imagery and other data disappeared when the new AARO director, the new Pentagon UFO boss, tried to investigate this material. He couldn't find it anywhere in the Pentagon's UFO office.
Again, just to reiterate, Greer is saying this guy is his whistleblower. I watched podcast number 2. I was going to go over it this Wednesday, but then the stuff came out tonight, so we're going to do it tonight. But he did say this is his whistleblower. However, the question emerged, if this is his, and I talked about it last night, so if this is his whistleblower, why didn't he come on his podcast and whistleblow first? And 2, this guy has evidently been hanging on to the story for a year, waiting for all this to come out. Why are they not all together on this? And why is he telling me that this guy right here got the evidence first, not Greer, as Greer said? So I'm wondering if Greer's co-opting the story to go along with his disclosure narratives, and then he takes it and kind of runs with it to another level of I don't know what you want to call it, exaggeration. But we'll see. Hold on.
It would appear someone had lost it. And I think what's going on here is the AARO, the Pentagon's UFO office, is being used as a foil. It's basically being used by
these guys have different stories
to try to
right? But they're telling the same story
but
different ways.
And frankly, I think we're now
That's
on a slippery slope because Mr. Barber, as a whistleblower, is just the beginning. Right. There are many more in the sidelines.
Lou, weren't you one of the guys that used to make that stuff disappear so the rest of us couldn't find out about it?
I mean, yeah, Chris, I was at a time one of those guys. Some people have accused me of being one of the men in black. I prefer to be referred to now as one of the men in white, trying to bring transparency and some information into the public eye. Ross has done an incredible job with this. By the way, he's been sitting on this now for almost a year and a half.
There's a lie for this.
And I know individuals that I personally am aware of that I'm friends with that are also former special operations operatives that were helping in the security of this individual because, like many of us, he feels.
I'm looking around for this guy's live. They don't even have the they don't even have the live up yet for this. It is going to be on News Nation, right? Anybody know for sure? I was counting on it being on News Nation tonight. So anyways, we have contradicting narratives a little bit. They still seem to be playing off the same dude, and I don't know if that was a quick turnaround, or if that was a long-term plan on behalf of Greer, but we are keeping a close eye on to see if these stories pan out. We always keep an open mind because it's more important than the truth than be right. But at the same time, we never jump the shark here. So I'm not one of those people that will help confirm your bias, but I will walk with you to the truth. That is what winning reality is all about. Because without the truth, we live in an age of disinformation and falsehoods, right? We don't want that. We want a better world. We're working towards a better world. Anyways, this will be fun though. This will be a fun night. I love this kind of stuff. So we'll have a great time. And I can't wait to see what the alien tech looks like.
Fear for his life because of the information that he has is so explosive Think about this for a second. Surprise, surprise. Sean Kirkpatrick, the former Aero director, saying, well, yeah, someone may have talked to us, but we don't have any more of the evidence that was supplied to us. The new Aero director, I think, is taking this topic very seriously. Frankly, I'm very optimistic that maybe we'll get somewhere with this new director. But the last director had showed himself over and over again, frankly, in my opinion, to not be very truthful to the American people and to Congress. And so now we have this whistleblower coming out, and you're going to see, I guess, in video of him actually going and reporting this information to key figures in our government.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget.
All right, stop, Chromo. Stop, Chromo. I call him Chromo. All right, so I'm looking around. News Nation, it is 8:02, and I'm excited for this, but I don't see where News Nation is broadcast. Aren't they supposed to be releasing this at 8 o'clock tonight? Is it 8 o'clock Eastern? Are they messing with me, man? I got live. I got videos. Let me refresh the screen. So they're not premiering a video. Where's this going to be at? Does anybody have any idea? Let me know. Captain Curtin, what's up? How you doing, man? Anybody? Let's see. Let me go out to X then. If anybody knows, because I was counting on it being, see what this guy has to say. News Nation. Oh, wait, here. Is this it? Is this it? Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. That's from January 6th. Hold on. This guy's on an ad. I've already seen that. So whoever's reporting that is wrong. But I know that 8 o'clock tonight is supposed to be the Ignite. So we're gonna keep on it. Don't worry. If we're a little behind, that just gives us an opportunity to stop and comment more often. But News Nation has not released anything or set up a live yet. I had NASA's 10-hour NASA spacewalk. If you guys want that. All right. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. So let me go back to this mode, and maybe the plug was pulled by the men in black already. It could be. I have to check to make sure they're not in a full code zebra alert mode. But yeah, where's the money, News Nation? Where is the money? All right. Let's see what this says. Okay. Just in case, I love the animation here. I'll put this up just for. I'm gonna check my Discord here as I let you guys take a look at this. Okay, so this dude right here, Holden Colada, he's doing a lot of talking these days about this. And he seems to be echoing Greer a lot. He says Dr. Stephen Greer just doubled down. UFO AP disclosure allegedly tomorrow. That was yesterday, so today. New whistleblower Jake Barber has personally recovered crash UFOs. This isn't quite what he was talking about. Like we did the whole interview with Dana Carvey and David Spade. We've done background on this and so on. So we have literally taken the narrative Greer's put out and broken it down line by line by line. I've even started a little board. I haven't completed it yet, but I'll probably by Wednesday completed where I will bucket out everything he said and everything that we know so far, and like we did for the drone apocalypse 2024. Incidences, and we'll come to some conclusions on that. But just to keep our thoughts organized, because this guy moves like an orb in space. All right. For all those people who say it's just a conspiracy theory, well, no, I would never say it was just a conspiracy theory. I'm feeling more of it's a conspiracy grift, but we're gonna keep an eye on it, because what we'd love to have this beautiful technology. I would love to have it. So I'm hopeful. You're about to have the wake up call of your life. I can't wait. Where the hell is it? Where's my wake-up call? Where's my wake-up call? I want it. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm checking Discord now. What is this? Live broadcast is a hunting UFOs. Is this it? Live TV. I can't get it to work. It's audio. I don't. Why can't I see this? Like, find it, see it, see it, see it. All I can do is hear it. All right, hold on. Do I have to actually go to their TV station? Is that what it is? Does he understand that everybody lives on YouTube now? Uh-huh. All right, don't worry, we'll get it. Now, at worst, we can listen to this, all right? No thanks. Because I got this. So it's not the most pretty looking thing, but we can go ahead and pull that up. I hate the fact that they don't know how to use dark mode on their site. Or maybe I don't, but I'm not subscribed. So let's see what this, at least we can listen to this for now.
Which led to the UAP subject.
Barber says he was contracted as a helicopter pilot and was part of a team assigned to retrieve crashed aircraft at an undisclosed testing facility in the desert. And we're not only talking about conventional airplanes or drones.
A lot of the work we did was on what I call the range, where
home on the range.
The U.S. government and its private partners use to test all kinds of things, weapon systems and resilience to weapon systems of certain craft. And so you see a lot of exciting things.
So you start seeing at the range, interesting objects.
Well, yeah, it's always interesting out there. Things come in and out of sight. Things disappear for a moment and reappear. Things seem to move very quickly. Things change color, they change shape. We did recover things that were exotic in nature in the sky, and we know they were classified craft. And we recovered them and took them back to where they go. The majority of what we see and do is explainable and is ordinary and is known by many people and is not classified. But there is a certain percentage which is extremely sensitive, and that extremely sensitive bit does include what we know is our own man-made advanced technology.
So you know
that fits
what
in,
Luis
right?
Elizondo has described as the 5 observables. So you were seeing objects that complied with those weird observables.
Yes. So
observables. Come on, man.
One of those that would raise your eyebrow is more of the transmedium characteristics, because things would come from the ground, like from the earth,
send it to me, Miles.
a
I'll take a
ridge,
look at
from
it.
a mountain, or could pass through.
So they'd come
What,
out
Miles,
of a ridge.
Out of a ridge.
Discord link.
Aircraft that can disappear, change color, change shape.
It didn't work.
How might
That's
the
right.
US military have developed or acquired such technology? Jake says he saw for himself close up.
In the rare occasion, or let's say the hypothetical occasion, something of
Live TV. It doesn't do anything. See?
you would deploy that same team. And that is the segue and how we got involved with this particular subject.
It keeps doing that.
Encounter with non-human intelligence.
How close did you get?
I got within 150 feet of this object.
And later, News Nation has acquired video evidence of Jake's claims. It has to be seen to be believed.
We are not alone.
We are not alone.
News Nation, Monday, the inauguration of Donald J. Trump, live from D.C. Special coverage begins at 9 a.m. as Blake Berman sets the stage for the big day.
Let's get right into it. Welcome to Washington.
How to watch. Let's see. News Nation, how to watch. YouTube. Okay, I'm not at YouTube. And okay, why you guys about to make it so hard? That was just a commercial. Don't worry about it.
¿Sueñas con tener un Lexus? El Certified de Lexus cuenta con hasta 2 años o 20,000.
Now it's in Spanish. Great.
Financiamiento disponible del 5.99%.
Oh no, I don't. Okay. We'll get a fit. Don't worry, we'll get it. No, it's supposed to be live, but it's not. Am I on the wrong channel? NewsNationNow.com. Jason Barber.
Now that the holidays are over, what's a better New Year's resolution?
I scrolled the
than saving
bottom.
time and money? Get your
Nothing.
first New Year's resolution checked off your list with the Experian app.
I mean,
Experian can help
how are we
you
going
get
to see this if we don't watch it.
Finding and canceling your unwanted subscriptions for you. Experian can also negotiate your bills like cable, internet, or cell phone. And the best part is, you keep all of your savings. The Experian app is your one-stop shop for your financial health. Get started on the Experian app today and see how much you could save. Results will vary. Not all bills are subject to eligible. Savings not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment accounts required. See Experian.com for details. Copyright 2024 Experian.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and
You got anybody?
fresh, soft, less wrinkled,
We're all
and
looking
less
together, right?
static your laundry
Hulu.
can be, you'll every time. Like those
Wait a minute.
socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all.
Oh, no.
But for fresher, softer, better laundry,
News Nation, Monday, the inauguration of Donald J. Trump, live from D.C. Special coverage begins at 9 a.m. as Blake Berman sets
All right, can you guys hear it?
big day.
They're still talking about the
Center of it all. Then at 11, join Chris Cuomo.
They're still talking about
Leland
ads.
Bittert and Chris Stirewalt from the oath of office to the presidential parade. We'll take you there with News Nation Politics powered by The Hill. Inauguration Day.
This is a maybe on Hulu.
Central. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com.
I know a
But
lot of people aren't
I tried to
covering
log
this
into
as deeply
Hulu
as
and I
News Nation,
sent a
because I'm not
code
playing the game,
to
that's why.
News Nation's Chris Cuomo.
Let me
the
first
email
thank
address.
you for having the courage to bring this out.
We're going to expose what's happening and let you make the decision.
All right, I don't want to hear their ads.
I do want to just thank you for.
Why don't they just put it on their YouTube channel? That's really irritating.
Thank you for all you
Is it? Do they have more than one? News Nation, newsnation.com. Wait, hold on. Let's check out X.
News for all Americans. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com.
Nothing.
Kia Miami Lakes Kia. It's your choice. Drive a 2025 Kia Seltos EX for $209 per month for 24 months. Yes, lease a Kia Seltos for just $209 per month, or lease a Kia Sportage LX.
Oh man, I hope. Do you think the paywall people are going to get me if I do Hulu? That would ruin the whole night, wouldn't it?
Miami Lakes Kia at the Palmetto and 57th Avenue, or shop online.
Let's see, I'm going to follow. They might.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest.
All right, so we're still at a commercial break right now because this is live.
Nature-made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care.
Nothing on their X channel.
Multivitamins with daily essentials.
Man.
Clinically studied probiotics for gut health support. Magnesium.
Take something. At least we can listen to it.
Nature-made is made to care for you.
Hey, Andy, how's it going? Good to see you.
Been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products
We're listening,
to diagnose,
but we need to
treat,
see
cure, or prevent
because how can we see without, we don't see.
oh yes, master. Jeepers,
We're gonna keep looking, but we gotta listening while we're looking.
Oh my stars.
And that's a good thing.
God will get you for that.
Catch classic catchphrases all day long on Antenna TV.
Good night.
Oh my God.
How close did you get?
Well, I was a helicopter pilot, and I operate with 150 foot to 200 foot long line. So I got within 150 feet of this object.
What did you see?
I saw an egg, a white egg.
Was there any visible propulsion system?
Oh, sorry.
No, not what we would know. There's no engine. There was no thermal signature. I was operating at night when I finally came in to pick it up. So I'm working under night vision goggles at the time. And it was quite clear. I flipped them up, flipped them down, and looked at it a couple of different ways.
How large was the object?
I would say approximately 20 feet, plus or minus.
20 feet?
About the size of a large SUV.
Did it have any seams?
No.
And it was
seamless.
It was
seamless.
Like pearly white, like a metallic pearly white, the best I could assess.
How did you know that that egg-shaped object was non-human in origin?
Well, visually, after seeing all kinds of things in my past,
I think I know what he's talking about.
It was clearly something that was ridiculously looking. It's inconsistent with anything I'd ever seen before. I can also tell you that the reaction by my team, we all knew we were dealing with something extraordinary.
And at no stage were you ever subsequently told that the craft was of non-human
so I'm looking on Hulu.
I will tell you that during this process over the last couple of years, it's been confirmed to me by ranking members of the UAP task force that what we were working with that night was in fact NHI, and it was not a unique experience.
What do you think that object was?
This is something he's already talked
Security
about.
and transportation. I moved it, loaded it on a truck, and it went to.
Where would it go?
Maybe we're just on the wrong time zone.
It would be taken to a secure facility, but again, my role stops once I deliver it.
Yes, it sounds like the stuff of madness, tall tales, delusions. And anyway, where was the proof for any of this?
NewsNation has independently obtained previously unseen video obtained from a secret UAP craft retrieval program. This extraordinary footage clearly shows an egg-shaped object dangling in a sling below the belly of a helicopter.
What the hell? That's great.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle. And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into land. Let's freeze frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval.
TV.
Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is. No markings at all, and no visible means of propulsion or way to see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground, despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas from the cradle as it's dropped for pickup. The UAP's final destination still unknown.
So there was another object. There's two objects that I'm here to talk about. One was the egg. The other is what we called an 8-gon. The 8-gon was essentially a
that
flying
might be why nobody's showing
with
it.
what looked like 8
because you got to pay $90 a month to
and
get
I can
this.
tell you what it looked like from looking down because that's primarily how I saw it.
You got to pay $90 a month to get this live right now.
We
can listen to
did
it.
recoveries
And
with
then I'll
the
play the
8-gons.
live
There
video
was more
when it
than
comes
one that made its
Sorry
way
about
to the
that.
ground on this particular operation.
Simply seeing a non-human craft up close would be an intense experience in itself. But Barber says as he prepared
Making
to
is intense.
transport that so-called 8-gon from the pickup site to the drop site, something even more intense happened to him that would change his life forever.
This is one of the most profound experiences I've ever had in my life I'm about to share with you, so bear with me. So as I get closer to this pick site, I start feeling odd. I start feeling extremely emotional. And the closer I get, the more the emotion starts to overwhelm me. I feel this intense hybrid of sadness and happiness and beauty and song. And it was
just listen to
very
him, I guess.
disruptive to me because I had
Sorry
a very
for the,
practical responsibility at the
word
time
there,
to
but it's like-
operate a helicopter. In the
I didn't
mountains
know
at
the
night,
record
and
show
I
it live. It's supposed to be
began
the biggest story of the year. Of course, they put it
wondering what
behind a
was wrong
paywall,
with me.
right?
It was late. I'm like,
That doesn't do good for credibility.
I don't
in my
know.
book.
But as I came over this object for the pick, there was this overwhelming sense of emotion.
Is it your feeling?
It's emotional.
Are you suddenly having a mental breakdown on the job?
No, I felt like something connected with me. I felt like something had
Hear that a
tuned
lot.
in to me and my soul and was providing me some sense of
I will listen to it.
guidance on
Listen to it.
what to do and
Like
how
old-time radio,
profound
guys.
what I was doing was. And it was so overwhelming that I began to cry. And then I'm confused as to why I'm crying at the same time. And then do I abort the mission? So I just did my best to focus on my particular cues when doing this type of work. And I got the load hooked up and I began flying away. And once it was just me and that object in between the pick and the drop site, there's about 20 miles in between. I felt like something was inside of me. I felt like I was possessed by the most beautiful
cry.
spirit I'd ever been.
Don't
possessed
cry.
by. And
No.
Was it loving?
it was loving. But
Really?
there was a sense of sadness at the same time.
Made you cry?
And
Had you ever had an experience like this before?
no, it was a very feminine energy. I'll tell you that. I
can tell.
Felt like the spirit of God, but not in any masculine sense. And it wasn't like a soul. It was like a frequency that I was connected with. And whatever that force was, since that night, it has stayed with me. And as crazy as this sounds, it's what's guiding me now. And it's what's providing protection for me.
It's changed your life.
It's changed my life.
To see these comments.
Wait a second.
Wait a
Humans bonding
second.
psychically and emotionally with non-human intelligence?
That sounds like a takeover.
Jake Barber says that's exactly what happened to him. And he's not the only one. And he says the government knows all about it.
There is a psychic component to the research and development of the UAP program.
Do psychics walk among us? Stay with us.
Interesting. Man, okay. So here, let me just update you during the commercial here. News Nation is a paid, I guess they have the YouTube channel. They put out streams after the fact. They put out videos after the fact, but when they do it live, it's a paid service, and that's how they make their money, and we can appreciate that.
Then there is keeping in the spirit of
So,
the holidays well past their celebrations.
Miles, did you get the Discord link? If you Discord, just send them to me, man. I'll look at them.
That's a great thing.
And
to help keep people warm.
and so we're listening to it live. We can't watch it live.
For charity auctions, depending on what the item is.
But we will watch it. We will watch this again live. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll get it out after. I don't know how soon after they do it live they put it out on YouTube. But evidently they want you to either have YouTube TV or some other streaming service to see it live time, and then you get these beautiful commercials with that too. So not only are you paying for the streaming service, you also get to listen to these awesome commercials, which, you know, I've done everything in my power to wean out of my life over the course of the last 10 to 15 years. So that's awesome. Anyways, we'll get through it, and we will keep an eye on X, and we'll keep an eye on other aspects of this. Right now, I'm just getting the story here. Right, I want to see that. I want to see the footage. So if someone's dropping footage out there, I want to see this helicopter event. This is the big event. Is he's releasing this video here. So we'll be listening to it, talking about it, and then hopefully watching it after they're done. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get something out there. But for everybody's tuning in, I appreciate you tuning in. Don't worry. We will get to this. It was just a bit of a swerve on our at us, as in we didn't realize that you couldn't watch this as it was happening. So we'll get the video. But here's what I think. I think I've seen this before. I think I know what's going on here. And just to let you guys know, I'm on top of it. Let's take a close look. I think I know where the egg came from. Yes. Yeah, there's the egg. And then it launches, and out pops Robin Williams. So there you go. I think that's what he's talking about. I'm not sure though. We're still going to keep an eye on it. Let me see. News Nation. Back to you and your commercials.
Whether you're on the water,
all right, there you are. So
sun,
you didn't miss a thing.
Precision eyewear provides
all right.
protection and clarity.
We'll keep an eye out for any kind of video footage, anything that comes off of this. Don't you worry about it. Let's get back to the Nanu. Let's get
through my mind. And so
here we
how
go.
did the object come to land?
I think it was invited to land.
invited by
the
Stephen Greer.
psionics team.
Jake says his mission that night came from no accidental crash. The UAP was summoned by a separate team, a special team with special abilities. They're called psionics.
What is a
band of
psionic?
psionics?
A psionic person is someone with the predisposition for extra temporal, you could say, abilities and sensitivities.
Extratemporal abilities, also known as psychic powers.
What did you discover the psionics were being used for in the program?
In the program, there was certainly a desire to explore the idea that perhaps UAP could be summoned, could be communicated with, could be controlled.
What about the protocols of David Greer
persuaded
you're
to
in
land,
contact with?
all by deploying people
You're
with
his whistleblower. You
psionic
went to Black
abilities.
Slave.
And did you see that happen?
Yes, I did.
When a psionic operator engages with
Greer's has
technology,
never said
how do they
psionics
do it?
once in a while.
Using their mind,
He'll start saying it now, but-
something like meditation.
There genuinely are people who can actually make a mental, spiritual connection to a
Say his
technology.
name. Say his name.
Yes, 100%.
It all seems
his
so
name.
far-fetched. Psychically gifted humans linking with possibly alien ships, summoning them, and even piloting them. But it isn't just Jake saying this. Don Paul, another decorated Special Forces operator and colleague of Jake's, says he's also seen what psionics can do.
I've had the pleasure
Psionics,
of meeting
bring it on.
multiple
Maybe that's my
psionic
real
assets. I've
calling
seen them
light.
function.
I'm
I
into
know that they're
psionics.
capable of doing what they're doing.
You can definitively say that
psionic.
you believe there is a capacity in the human mind to somehow psychically, telepathically connect.
Yes, and I don't know if it's a
That
byproduct,
would
if
be
it's
awesome.
something that they were born with, but there is certain people who
Right,
are
the band of
quantifiably,
psionics.
verifiably capable
I used to
of
have
this.
that.
It's an established fact that the
I love the band
Pentagon
of psionics.
has had an interest in psychic abilities, what it calls remote viewing, or military purposes. The
Hold on,
famed
Stephen
Project
Greer-
Stargate
Stephen Greer
spent
says we call that
years studying
wrong
the
saying
subject,
now.
and despite the CIA's official position that such studies yielded nothing, former Pentagon UAP investigator Lou Elizondo told me last year that psychic
Lou.
abilities are very real. And
Okay, let's
perhaps
go.
not very rare.
So this is an
Yes.
ontological shock,
I'm
I
psychic,
think, for
by the
many
way.
people
Just wanna make sure
watching
everybody
this,
knows
because
that.
we're all being told.
If you want to hang
Firstly,
out with the
there's no
psychic
such thing as
dude,
aliens
right
visiting
here.
this planet. And secondly, there's no such thing as
We're in the
telepathy or psychic
I'll take care of
abilities.
you.
It's rubbish.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think there is going to be an ontological shock. I think it's going to be an ontological relief, because I
Right.
think everyone deep down knows that there is more to life than what we are being told and
We
experiencing.
sure hope so, at
Like,
least.
not
I mean,
only
that's the thing.
is
So
it
we
not
know what we
shocking,
hope.
but it should be
Those
welcome.
good things
It
about
all seems so innocent,
with it,
so
though.
benign, even sacred. But hold on. Jake says that through his work, he and his team have suffered serious injuries.
After this particular mission, me and everyone on my team got extremely sick.
How sick?
Like
How sick
physically
were you?
ill in the hospital.
And one of the world's leading
Hospital
medical
record?
experts agrees.
My personal experience, both with people and the things that I've seen, is that there's something here.
Are UAPs bad for your health? Coming up next.
Wow. Okay. So in that segment there, he talked about getting sick from the stuff.
With Miller Mott College's online program.
He said that, and psionics, the band of psionics is alive and well. Now I've always
Earn your degree without
I've always been
Visit us online at
empathic in a way,
That's
getting new age and weird about it.
Swing
I'm always
el
trying to
con
figure out a
el
way to
Lexus.
kind of explain
L
it.
Certified Lexus cuenta con hasta
I don't
2
make a big
años
deal
o
out of
20,000 millas de
It's this one.
mantenimiento de cortesía. Lo que ocurra primero.
And you know, it's kind of more like an intuition you kind of follow, or you know, whatever. I don't really. It doesn't. These people make it sound like it's so much more. I don't know. I think that that psychic abilities can be misconstrued, I guess, and I know that's why I think that you may have a lot of coincidences with you, like, you know, like oh, you called me and I just woke up. I was just thinking about you or something like that, right?
Every 4
One of
years,
those
the
things.
president-elect and vice
How do you
president-elect
do that?
are sworn into office on January
I don't.
20th. The ceremony
I just do
usually
it.
takes place
I just,
outdoors at the
you
U.S.
know,
Capitol.
getting a feeling about someone, but that, a lot of it
outdoor
can be like
National Mall.
a collection of
things will look
body
a lot
language
different on
clues they've
Monday
been giving
due
you
to
for a while, and
brutally cold
things
temperatures
like, you
expected
know,
in
it's like on
DC.
subconscious
Donald
things.
Trump
But is that
announced in
psychic
quote,
abilities?
"The
I
weather
don't know.
forecast
Psionics,
for
though,
Washington, D.C. with the
the way
wind
I
chill
understand
factor
psionics
could
is
take
like that's like
temperatures into severe
you know, it's
record
like
lows.
it's like, you
There
know,
is an
you're
Arctic blast
expelling,
sweeping the country.
right? You're not
I don't
intaking,
want to
you're
see people
expelling,
hurt or
and
injured in any way. So the ceremony
and
for
so you're
Trump
actually
and the vice
you're putting
president-elect
out
JD
versus
Vance will now
taking
take
in.
place inside the
And
Capitol
psychic, I've
with
always thought of it as
Trump
something
says
taking
afterwards
in,
he'll make a
right?
stop at the nearby
Psionics, I think,
Capital One Arena.
reverses that,
There's history here,
and
by
it's
the way.
like you're putting
40
out.
years
So,
ago,
but
Ronald
what he's
Reagan's
not saying
inauguration
here,
was
this
also
is
held
Greer's
indoors
whistleblower
due to the
blower
cold
right here.
weather.
Remember, we're coming at this
Blake
from the
Berman,
Greer
and
angle.
this is the News
And
Nation
now
Minute.
I guess it's going to be
Thanks for listening
absorbed
to
by the
News
News
Nation
Nation
on the
angle, I
Go.
guess. I
I'm
don't know.
Donald McShane.
We'll see, because they're
We're
going to
here
run parallel.
24/7
But
on
I
the News
believe
Nation
Stephen
app
will
or on your
continue
Alexa.
to
Just
co-opt
say,
this
"Play News
narrative.
Nation."
So until we see these two guys in a room together, which I don't think is impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I think we'll get a hold of him eventually, right? But right now, he's claiming that this is the guy. He was part of this Black Ops group, and you can see his here. Maybe I should just put his picture up since it's the start tonight, since we don't have any visuals here. And we're still listening to commercials. And let me move out of the way.
To help
How do I
avoid
do this
medical
like that?
emergencies.
There he is. You
Keep
see him?
track of your blood
There he is.
glucose
Hold on.
levels,
Yeah.
called blood
Here, it's just a commercial. There, that guy, this guy. It's him.
sugar. Make
All right.
sure you have all your medicines
So
and
anyways,
supplies with you. If you have medicine for low blood sugar, show those closest to you, including your
he
friends, teammates,
was,
coaches,
you know, he's
and
supposedly the Black
coworkers
Ops
how to
guy,
give
right?
You your
And
medicine.
he was supposedly a
Intercept
part of this for
diabetes as much
decades.
as you
So
can.
the story kind of
Pursuing
starting
your
to
dreams.
kind of like fall apart a little bit on the Greer end as it picks up on the News Nation end. That's what we're observing right now.
Now
But
that the
we'll
holidays
see.
are over, what's a better
And
New
like I
Year's
said, maybe
resolution
he
than saving
I
time
heard
and money to
about
get
this
your first New
happening.
Year's
I heard about
resolution
this
checked off
guy
your
through
list
the
with the
grapevine,
Experian app. Experian
and
can help with your financial
decided he was going to
stability
take it
by
to
finding
and put his
enhancing your
own
unwanted
kind of spin on it.
subscriptions.
I have no idea.
Experian can also
But right now, the
negotiate your
stories
bills like
aren't
cable, internet,
lining
or
up.
cell
So
phone,
what's the
and the
truth,
best part
right?
is you keep all of your savings.
And
The
really, it's
Experian app
about
is your one-stop
not
shop for your financial health.
grifting
Get started
people
on the
into
Experian
believing
app
shit
today
that
and
ain't true,
see how
right?
much
So
you can
but
save.
what's true,
Experian
we'll take
covers
with
your
us, and
whole
what's
savings
not,
security.
we'll leave
Even
behind.
with connected payment accounts
And that's the way we're living true. That's the way we do it, right? Because one thing we don't want to do is let people abuse us with information, grifting us, whatever. We're totally against that here, by the way. But that doesn't mean we don't believe in things and don't consider things. You know, we just drill down, we question to the void. God bless America with this commercial, dude. Ugh, they're so bad. I have to leave it on a little bit so I can hear when they go back.
They may also have shortened it.
So what happened to you?
We're not quite sure. We were
Not quite
transporting
sure.
a large sealed container.
Jake says nobody on his team was told what was in that container.
And we transported what we called mystery boxes all the time. I have no idea. It could have been empty. It probably wasn't empty, but we don't know what was inside the boxes.
And what were you told if somebody tried
Everybody,
to seize
other
that
people are
box?
having a
What
problem
were your
watching
orders?
this, by the way. It's not
We maintain
Not
the
Catholic,
authority
but
to use
all kinds of
lethal
problems.
force if anyone tried to seize those boxes.
So whatever that box was, it was extremely valuable
That's
to the
correct.
US government.
That's correct. And after this particular mission, me and everyone on my team got extremely sick, like physically ill in the hospital. Within, weeks after this, I'd lost every hair on my body, and I also lost the skin on my arms.
So the skin's actually falling off your body.
Yeah, like not just falling off, like it was
Oh.
lopping off within a couple of days,
I
like
found
a
something.
severe sunburn.
Who can actually make a mental, spiritual connection to a technology.
Yes.
Not
100%.
Greer.
It all seems so far-fetched. Psychically gifted humans
Sorry,
linking
we're here now.
possibly alien ships.
Okay, so we're a little bit
summoning
behind, but now we got
and
the visuals.
even piloting them.
There
But
we
it
go.
isn't
And we got
just
this dude in the
Jake saying
corner. Thank
this.
you, dude in the
Don
corner,
Paul,
whoever you are,
another
for
decorated
helping us
Special
out here.
Forces operator and colleague of Jake's, says he's also
We're
seeing
probably getting
what
copyrighted like a
psionics can
move
do.
for this.
I've
So I'm going
had
to keep my eye
the
on the
pleasure of
screen here.
meeting multiple psionic assets. I've seen them function. I know that they're capable of doing
By the way,
what they're
we're
doing.
watching
You
this,
can definitively
and all of a
say
sudden how to
that
cut
you
this
believe
out,
there
go
is
to
a
Rumble.
capacity
The link will
in
be in the
human
description.
mind to somehow
I'm talking
telepathically,
about rewatching
telepathically
it.
connect
Yes, and I don't know if it's a byproduct, if it's something that they were born with, but there is certain people who are quantifiably, verifiably.
All right, well, a little bit of a retract here, but
established fact that the Pentagon
is there any way to go
has
back and
had
see this
an
thing?
interest in psychic abilities, what it calls remote viewing, for military purposes. The famed Project Stargate spent years studying the subject, and despite the CIA's official position that such studies yielded, investigator Lou Elizondo told me last year that psychic abilities are very real,
call him Lulu,
and perhaps not very rare. So this is an ontological shock, I think, for many people watching this, because we're all being told, firstly, there's no such thing as aliens visiting this planet. And secondly, there's no such thing as telepathy or psychic abilities. It's rubbish.
Yeah, you know, I don't think there is going to be an ontological shock. I think it's going to be an ontological relief, because I think everyone deep down knows that there's
I got
more
the footage right here.
to life than what
Next
we
commercial break,
are
I'm going to go
told
back and look at it.
experiencing.
Like, obviously
not
live.
only is it not shocking, but it should be welcome.
It all seems so innocent, so benign. Even
We'll catch back up
sacred.
like you wouldn't believe.
But hold on.
You wouldn't believe.
Jake says that through his work, he and his team have suffered serious injuries.
After this particular mission, me and
See
everyone
arms.
on my team got extremely sick.
How sick?
This guy's got like
Like
470.
physically ill in the
Same amount of
hospital.
And one of the
subscribers.
world's
Oh,
leading
dude.
medical experts agrees.
My personal experience, both with people and the things that I've seen, is
Total
that there's something
disclosure.
here.
Are UAPs bad for your health? Coming up next.
Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the helicopter footage.
So that I can serve what was coming down the line next for me. And
lasting support.
We're going to catch up here in a
This in
second.
Bosnia, where he won an award for an act of heroism. In
Okay.
addition to reviewing a
This guy's
resume
got like a
that
black belt.
reads
He ain't-
like
don't mess
something
with
out
this
of an act
dude.
of soldiers who corroborate
Okay.
Barber's
I want to see the.
cover basis for
Okay.
an independent contractor.
I don't see anything
so
so
that I
far.
can serve what was
There's
coming
something
down the
down
line
there.
next for me. And that is the path which
All right,
led
let's go.
crashed aircraft at an undisclosed testing facility in the desert. And we're not only talking about conventional
Come on.
airplanes
Where's
or
it at?
drones.
a lot of the work we did was on what I call, and so you see a lot of exciting things.
So you start seeing at the range
Classified craft, and we recovered them and took them back to where they go. The majority of what we see and do is explainable and is ordinary and is
Okay.
known by many people and is not classified.
Where's
but
the freaking footage?
There is a certain percentage which is extremely sensitive, and that extremely sensitive bit does include what we know.
Look at all those commercials. Oh no. Don't tell me he got taken down.
Is an accomplished helicopter pilot. This is the kind of work Barber.
I got within 150 feet of this object.
What did you see?
Oh,
I
let's see,
saw
guy.
an egg, a
An
white
egg.
egg.
Was there
Nanu,
any
nanu.
visible propulsion system on it?
No, not what we would know. There's no engine. There was no thermal signature. I was operating at night when I finally came in to pick it up. So I'm working under night vision goggles at the time.
That doesn't seem like that.
And it was quite clear. I flipped
add a
them
lot
up,
of
flipped them
things in
down,
here.
and looked at it a couple of different ways.
How large was the object?
I would say approximately 20
He's having
feet
some issues
plus or
too,
minus.
evidently. He's having what? Really?
Why is it skipping?
All right.
I
Look.
have no idea what
My roll
what took
stopped
place
once
there,
I
but it just
go over
crashed.
it.
Oh, hold on.
me.
Yes, it's
What's this? There
What?
it is. Looks like a. Oh, there we go. Okay.
What the
There we go.
fuck?
It's wrapped up. It's round. What is it? What are we looking at here, guys?
Let's slow this down to
Yeah,
take a
slow it
closer
down.
look.
Here we go.
That's
Let me get.
an egg-shaped
Let's slow it
UAP
down.
suspended from a 100
There's a guy in the background talking. It's not me. All right. My voice is much higher than this.
50-foot long line. We're told the craft is
All
about
right. See this shape on the ground? That's looking straight down.
20 feet long.
20 feet long.
Egg suspended in a cradle.
Anybody?
And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into land. Let's
Where are they
freeze
landing?
frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval. Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is. No markings at all. And no visible means of propulsion or way to see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground, despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas from the cradle as it's dropped for pickup. The UAP's final destination still unknown.
Nanu.
So there was another object.
That's it.
There's two objects that I'm here to talk about. One was the egg. The other is what we called an 8-gon. The 8-gon was essentially a flying disc with what looked like 8 delineated sections to the research and development of the UAP program.
Do psychics walk among
Okay.
us?
Let's get back to
So
live.
what
here.
happened to you?
We're not quite sure. We were transporting a large sealed container.
Jake says nobody on his team was told what was in that container.
And we transported what
Okay,
we
so
called
that's that.
mystery
We heard
boxes
that
all the
part.
time. I have no idea. It could have been empty. It probably
Okay, I'm
wasn't
gonna
empty,
speed
but
it
we
up.
don't know what was inside the box. And
These are
after this
helicopters. They
particular
fly like
mission,
this.
and yeah, like not
I heard
just
all this
falling
on the
out,
other
it,
thing.
it was
Okay, here we go.
lopping off within a couple of days, like a severe sunburn.
That was that.
I
That was
ended up
it. That was the
developing
egg.
a
Boy.
severe heart murmur that
That
I'd
was the
never had
egg we all
before.
came to
Last
see.
year, I introduced Jake
Yep.
to Stanford
He's
Immunology
legit, though,
professor
evidently.
Gary Nolan. He's
But I mean,
been
doesn't mean he's
studying
telling the
anomalous
truth.
injuries among U.S.
Or
military
he's not
personnel for years
being
at the
handled in
behest
some way.
of the CIA.
keep our mind
Nolan
open.
agreed to review decades of Jake's medical records.
The report reads like a bit of a horror show, to be quite honest. To me, what the first thing that came to mind was you were exposed to some kind of radiation. And especially, as I understand it, a number of his
Guys, we are
coworkers
4 away from
in
600 on
the
Rumble.
deployments
You want to
that
be part of the
he was in,
fabulous 4.
had similar
The fantastic
problems. So
4.
you're not
Head on over to
dealing with a
Rumble right now and
one-off
follow.
who went home and somehow
Let's break 600 tonight over
came in
there.
contact with something in the house, but you have 4 or 5 individuals all at once coming down with the same thing within a week or so after deployment. That's more than a coincidence.
My fear is that there's something permanently broken that might show up in the form of cancer or God knows what later in life. And we're going to be way behind in trying to figure out how to deal with it.
Assuming Jake and his team were exposed to radiation emanating from that box, could it have come from one of the many radioactive materials
I'm
used
good. Good to see
regularly
you,
by the
Evelyn.
military?
Are you ready for
Certain
disclosure?
munitions, components of nuclear vessels, or nuclear weapons themselves.
My crowd is awful
Jake
quiet right
doesn't
now.
think so.
If the Air Force, let's say, knew that what we were working with that night had any type of radiological signature, there's a whole set of process that we're trained in on how to deal with that from a hazmat perspective and a containment perspective. And the fact that none of that
Sounds evil now,
was
doesn't it?
apparent that night tells me they didn't know. What
They
was
reel
in the
you in
box.
with this peaceful
And
feeling, and then
it
you're all fucked up.
got turned on or turned off, which leads me to believe, in hindsight, all these years, that it may have been something of non-human
Psychologically
origin.
connects with you, and then like then it kills
Absolutely.
you that way.
Wild speculation?
Ooh.
Perhaps not. When you consider
I'm glad to hear
other
it. I'm glad to
documented
hear it.
cases of military personnel who claim they were similarly injured by UAP. Take the famous case of Airman John Burroughs. The Veterans Administration granted him full medical disability for injuries to his heart and eyes he claims he suffered during the famous 1980 UAP incident in Rendlesham Forest, England. But that only happened after Senator John McCain intervened to get his medical records declassified.
They were classified. They just weren't withheld. They were classified. Why would you feel that the issue was so important as to not allow for that person's medical records to be released? What are you hiding?
Hey, what's
The
up,
issue
Karen? How
came
you
up
doing?
in last year's
Get used to it.
congressional
It's the way it
UAP
goes,
hearings.
man.
How can the
This is
government
the
deny
alien
we have recovered craft if they're paying
hear you on
people
that. I'm with
because
you.
they've been injured by recovered
you.
craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why I think we're here again, because I've seen the documentation
by the U.S. government for several of these individuals who have
Okay, that was the dude. I covered this hearing, by the way,
of
too.
a UAP incident.
What did happen
I feel like these things
sounds
are,
either unethical
there's a couple
or
different
an
stages to
administrative
it.
oversight that needs
There's a
investigation
UFO
by Congress.
distraction
Because we shouldn't be putting
that causes for
people
military
like
attacks,
this under
right?
such
Swerve
circumstances.
away from
The good
tension.
news
We don't
is
want our
that
enemies
now,
to have
under
on
Dr.
it.
Nolan's care, Jake is getting proper
Swerve away from
evaluation
narratives,
and
important
treatment.
narratives.
The
These
bad
things always
news
come
is
up at
Jake
convenient
believes
times.
there's another, more imminent threat to his health, his former employer.
People have been murdered.
And then there's all these people
That
that
seems
come
to
in
be
and
the
grift
case.
off of it and make money off
Stay
people
with us.
and then cause people to believe the aliens are coming to save them so they don't
Okay,
participate.
everyone. Our mission is to provide
And solutions, right? And we're about solution culture here. So I'm
So we
about
don't miss
Lifestyle.
let's just
That's
be
why we do
level with the truth.
Full
Okay, this
speed.
guy is
My-
having fun on his end. I'm gonna mute him for a second. All right. Are we back? We back?
UAPs and psionics. His
Okay.
skills were
He went
also
backwards.
needed by private companies involved.
We're
in
at
the
his
top
we're at
secret
his mercy
program,
right now.
and his assignments soon
whatever
took a
that
turn
is.
from recovering UAPs
Wherever
to
he takes
something
us.
more
We're on a
sinister.
wild ride
What
with
happened?
Well,
full
we
disclosure,
were deployed on a particular
total
task to
disclosure project.
recover what we call HVTs or high
Yeah,
value
but we're
targets. Those high
all
value
about the
targets
truth, man.
were Panasonic Tough Books.
So,
the sensitive material that
Look
is
at that.
on
Yeah, this
these
is like root
Panasonic
cause
Tough Books
analysis, logical truth.
has to do with sensor data.
Jake and his
We'll
team
listen,
suspect
observe,
those Panasonic Tough Books contained
give
data
everybody a
from the
shot.
top secret UAP retrieval operations worth millions to the right buyer.
Yeah,
Jake
people like to be
says
based.
the
The
private
word
company
based means based in
contracting
reality.
him was
This is
determined
based.
to
Right here.
recover them.
We recovered our first two Tough Books. They were in the high Sierras. We got back
Using this
to
cut footage,
our
which makes it
base
seem like this is
location
like actually what
and
he's
then
talking
went
about.
through them and
Oh,
took photographs, discovered that the hard drives were missing.
don't
Jake says his
dramatize
team
it for
arrived
me.
too late. The hard drives containing the data
Fragile
had
must be-
already been taken, and it became clear to Jake that not all was what it seemed as his team set out to recover the missing data.
The next piece
The
of
helicopter pilot
intelligence
and his
that came
team.
through
Right.
led us to a lake, a high altitude lake, and we found the hard drives in a sealed steel container 25 feet underwater.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's a good
someone's going
find,
through
man.
a lot of effort in order to hide these things.
Hidden, but by
Or just
whom?
burn them.
What began as a straightforward recovery mission proved to be anything but simple.
We want 'em
and
to
Jake
have a
says
chance to
things
find 'em.
soon took a nefarious turn.
At any
Uh-oh.
stage, did you find yourself under threat?
The very next time we went out, things got strange for me. And my spidey senses, my intuition was on high alert because our intel contact changed. The rhythm and style of our intel changed. As we got closer to the day in which we were going to deploy, intelligence kept changing.
This is Greer says that this is his whistleblower. That's part of the deep guys. Steve Gosney. All right, dude. Thank you, Steve Gosney. How you doing, my friend? I haven't seen you in so long. Hope you're doing well, Steve Gosney. Awesome. Thank you for the raid. If that's really what's happening, I appreciate it. You are awesome. So yeah, Greer said that this guy was his main whistleblower, right? Or one of them. We'll see how he crafts the story. Remember, he's a legend at doing this. So somehow he's going to co-opt this, and it's not about Greer. It's about what this guy's doing tonight. But I'm just saying, we got into this story. He was leading us up into the story with his big interview on Carvey and Spade, right? And that was the big. I did two streams back to back, basically breaking down that interview line by line by line, and it really doesn't pan out by the end of it. If you watch I got a playlist, I got a podcast on it, whatever. Degrifting Dr. Stephen Greer Forever. That if you go to that, or you go to Drone Apocalypse 2024, you'll hear that breakdown of his exact explanation in his own words, not mine. I just go and say, well, this is what he's saying, right? And you'll see that a lot of things don't add up. But listen to this guy real quick.
So that raised my concern. We ended up going anyway, and when we got there, the HVTs were gone, and it was clear that shots had been fired.
Shots fired?
Gosney,
Whatever was on
welcome,
the
Gosney
computers
Raiders.
was a
Thank you
secret
so much for being here.
important, it was worth fighting for. The situation had changed. And soon Jake says he realized his team was caught in the middle and their lives were on the line. You're in significant danger.
Yeah. And I was concerned that we were being set up, we were being prepared for the one thing that we've always offered employers, and that is plausible deniability. And that we were perhaps going to be the hidden hand that gets severed.
Don Paul, a Special Forces veteran, was working on Jake's team at the time.
Were you involved in any of the retrieval attempts?
Yes.
Was there a concern that you were being set up, potentially?
Yes. Setup is a mild term. The fact that people have lost their lives involved
Trish,
in this
what's up?
type of
Welcome.
activity.
Thank you for subscribing.
And the
Welcome
lengths
to the
to
show. We're
which
having a
people
good
have
old time
gone to
tonight.
suppress politically uncomfortable truths is such that there is risk involved.
Do you think that, without naming them, the private aerospace
Great.
company that
Good to see
retained you
Thank you for being here.
decided to kill you?
Welcome.
Somebody
Welcome.
masquerading
Hunter.
as a
Welcome
representative
for
of
being
that
here.
company surely may have had that intention.
Steve and I did an
was
interview
convinced
together.
his former
We would
employer
get the link
or
out to people
someone
who are
posing
fans
as
of
them
Steve that are
was
here.
determined to
Subscribers,
kill
you can
him.
see us
But who
have a great interview
exactly
together.
was
We had a
calling the
fantastic interview.
shots? Jake was determined to find out.
Who were you working for?
It was obvious to us, at least, who the employer was, but
Who is it?
they were now in question, in my mind, as being part of the problem.
Jake was on the hunt, using his skills and vast network of contacts to determine just who was behind this shadow war fought over these missing hard drives. And he says the trail led him right to the top.
Okay, hold on. This is another thing that wasn't brought up by Greer in his story, his version of this. Was there? Where's these hard drives? What's this about? You know, missing stuff. I don't know. So we're getting new. We're basically they're spurting out. They're tangenting off from one another as they've always been. I think that was the case.
Past spring, Jake and his team were in Washington, D.C., conducting surveillance and eventually confronting one of their prime suspects.
So I reached out to the director of security for the particular organization and set up a meeting with them because there was only two truths in my minds. Either they were complicit or they were compromised.
What was his reaction? Was he nervous?
Oh, he was nervous.
And so
he has yet to mention anything about 1,000 years ahead of us alien technology, reverse engineer going at multiple times the speed of light, black ops, black budget, corporate, international. These are all things that we've taken from Greer's version of this. And Greer says this is his whistleblower, yet they have never been seen together and they haven't done this together. He's come to this guy at News Nation instead to tell a story, and his story is different than what we've been hearing so far. So the disclosure story is losing credibility by the minute from Greer. However, this guy seems to be going along the same lines as the dude. What was the guy's name that came out about a year ago and said that they had biologicals, with that biological word started getting thrown around? He went to Congress, he sat down, he testified and all that. It seems like this is a he didn't get a lot of credibility in his testimony, by the way. It was just somebody coming out and saying this stuff. This seems to be a follow-up on this. I'm just feeling it out. That's what it feels like. I'm not positive, but I can tell you that it's not the same story that Greer told right now. It's vastly different. Similar, but vastly different too.
He told you to forget it.
He said, it's in our best interest to move on. If he had any knowledge at all, it was clear he's trying to distance himself from it.
Jake was no closer to finding out who exactly wanted him dead, but he knew that he was no longer doing the mission he signed up for when he first enlisted, protecting Americans. To make it stop, he would need more than his hand-picked team. He would need Congress, he would need funding, he would need to go public.
And maybe
he
the
would need
Avengers,
us at News Nation to
they have
reveal
1,000
our
year
own
ahead of us alien
startling
tech. We're in trouble.
UAP footage. That's next.
All right. Get some UAP footage next. I guess they're going to go to a commercial. Oh, good. We can catch up. I guess
I keep forgetting my mic's turned down.
Barber says it's now time for the public to know. That's why he's doing this interview. But he's doing much more than talking.
And what you're trying to do now is replicate in the private sphere what's being suppressed in the
Man,
public
thank you guys
sphere.
so much for being
Yeah,
here
you
for
know,
the Ghazni stream. Thank you to Steve Ghazni.
We're not
for-
looking back.
Yeah,
We're
you
looking
guys-
forward. I am absolutely
We
confident
got a great crowd.
that
here tonight, and
we are capable
always.
of
You guys-
generating the type of high quality sensor data and photography and film evidence that everyone is wanting.
Yes. do
So
it.
who
Bring it
exactly
on.
is
We are
we?
ready.
Our
We are ready.
organization is called Skywatcher. We have been
Skywatcher.
recruiting
I haven't heard
guys
that before.
from within the program and women and are forming a new team
Oh, that's
in coordination with government agencies. And we also have the funding through venture capital.
David, thank
you
you.
name those
Thank you,
agencies?
Chris. Yes. That's it.
Not at this
Thank you
time,
so
but I
much.
hope to very soon.
Jake's Skywatcher team has already deployed
This guy down
on
here in the
behalf
corner.
of the US
See him?
government to investigate last year's
We're
drone
sniping.
sightings on the
Because
East
he's the only
Coast.
one that has the live
But
version. of
before
this.
that,
So
they were on the
thank
hunt
you.
for something even
Total
more
disclosure.
elusive.
That's right.
We are
In
sniping.
August of 2024, Jake and the Skywatcher team conducted their own operation with a psionic asset to see
Psionic
if they
asset.
could summon a UAP themselves.
What did? What? Where's Stephen Greer? Where is Stephen Greer? He's the guy who came up with Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, the big SETI project. Remember the one that he said that the Army intelligence back in the 90s offered him $2 billion not to go through with and to join their team instead. But he said, I've never been in it for the money. No, sir. But I mean, they're supposed to be buddies. I'm not feeling the connection here, guys. I'm not feeling the connection. They didn't bring in the guy who went up when he was 17 years old in an out-of-body experience to work with the aliens on developing these protocols, as he calls it. We just went over this on Wednesday night. So the last unveiling reality I did on the reality check on Dr. Stephen Greer as Disclosure Day arrives, that one, right? We went into his backstory where he talks about being the primo dude when it comes to this stuff, right? But they didn't pick him for this, I guess. Look at this.
Look right here. Look at this one going down and this one going up.
This footage from another Skywatcher operation showing the team's protocols. The team hoped to quietly gather evidence for Skywatcher, but instead found
that word,
themselves
they
in
got their own
danger
protocols.
once more.
Steve, we don't need your
Jake
protocols.
says a UAP dogfight erupted in the sky above them. He believes the craft summoned by the team was warring with a rogue UAP piloted by an unknown entity attempting to intercept Skywatcher's operation.
Okay, Greer himself has been busted doing these SETI events, right? Basically, he gets a bunch of people to pay money. They go down to the beach, right? They all meditate. They do his meditation that he could develop. He co-created with aliens at 17, right? And then off the coast, all of a sudden, these bright lights that almost like flares or like lanterns, right, appear, and that's them reaching out to them. That's them calling them. The aliens don't come to the beach and like just hang out and like roast marshmallows and do a little dancing or something, right? They don't do that. They stay way, right? And they just make little lights in the sky and then they go away. And he literally narrates the whole thing. I've shown this way back on the Alien UFO Rabbit Hole series. Somewhere in there, I showed the whole thing where he did this. I guess I'll have to pull it out again. I'll find the actual footage again so people can see this for themselves because I keep bringing it up and I'm referring to a very old stream now. So I will do that. See, so many government okayed whistleblowers make it hard to know who to believe, right? I know. I mean, but anybody can call themselves a whistleblower too. That's the whole thing. I'm a whistleblower. I'm blowing the whistle, right? So you can call yourself a whistleblower all you want. You can say you have meetings with people when you don't. You can do a lot of things, right? So we'll see. But again, when people go out in the desert and film their own shit, and then you see these things like that, and they're like, "Whoa, look at that!" And it's just like this little clip. I'm like, that could have easily been their stuff. And I have to like take everything into consideration. You're not automatically credible with me just because you're coming up with a great story. I need to see it for real. I know what I'm looking for, right? And this little, this little clip here ain't it? I mean, it's like this. Okay, there's some things flying around up there, but I'm supposed to believe that you called in an alien craft with psionics, right? And then out of nowhere, another UAP came in to try to disrupt things, right? Very convenient. But anyways, let's check it out.
Tell me what happened.
So we set out to do this operation right away when the psionic asset went into meditation. He is reporting that he is engaged and in fact piloting a craft and is bringing it in.
So he's actually telepathically
I'm sorry, man. I have a hard time buying into this.
controlling alien technology.
Yes.
A human being with psionic abilities can now control alien technology. Whoa. I'm in the wrong business. I'm going for the psionics, guys. I'm going for psionic alien vessel control. I think that this will help out. Shelby, would you like to take a ride on a UFO? I'll send one to your house. We'll put your mother on it. You can take her up in there. You know, it always does, Snipe Hunter, man. It does. That's why I love keeping an eye on conspiratainment like this, and especially when they make a big deal out of it, very serious. I mean, this has been building up since Drone Apocalypse started. So this is part. I know you just joined us tonight, but we've been walking down this for a minute. And if you look at my Drone Apocalypse 2024 playlist, did I turn it into a podcast? I don't know. I might have. You know how you can do that. But anyways, I have one for that specific thing, right? 5 parts. And in those 5 parts, parts 3 and 4 are parts 1 and 2 of the Stephen Greer interview, where it's, you know, I predicted that he would eventually emerge to try to co-opt these drones as UFOs and to add it to his story, and he did. So it was one of those things. I mean, I think I predicted it, if not hinted at it. Yes, send one for Mother Perez. What do you mean? I need to go on the UFO? Yeah. Just walk up there, Ma. Okay. Are you sure? Yeah. Just walk on up. All right, let's go.
Yes. As crazy as that sounds, that's exactly what we set out to do, what he reported we would do. And then
how high was he during this
right about
psionic event? Yeah.
Right about, I'd say 4 or 5 minutes into the operation, he goes, something's going on, something's wrong, get me out of here. And right about that time, our Overwatch Fred looked up to the sky and saw a disc, a classic lenticular shaped disc.
That was Fred Baker, Special Operations veteran, now part of the Skywatcher team.
Okay, so what's going on here? I have to keep referring back to yeah, I did the whole board. I did like root cause analysis stuff. It was the board was okay. I think I could have done better, but I did my best with what I had. I collected all the information, posted it together. But anyways, I think we did a good job. We went through all kinds of different possibilities, and we came out with the fact that it was just a bunch of narratives kind of mixed together, and there wasn't really anything that we could figure out at this point in terms of what it wasn't any one thing, right? Like a lot of sensationalism, a lot of mania kind of got mixed in there as soon as things started kind of rolling up. We also noted that this narrative comes around every year around this time. And we noted an unreported narrative, like they kind of mix in the military base incursions with the regular people in neighborhood sightings, right? They kind of muddy the waters. Then there was the missing, the sniffing. Right, we went into that. We did the deep dive on that. Like the technology for sniffing radiation is it has to be in vast amounts, and most things have radioactive materials are very cased. So a drone sniffing, running around sniffing in the sky, isn't as realistic as people were making it out to be, and how they were using politicians and mayors and people that don't know anything more than me and you, right, as kind of like pawns of the narrative, kind of like getting them out there. Then how the government came out and tried to pass laws on top of it, right? We kind of followed each little thing about this, right? But this is one of the things we followed. So yeah, check it out. Drone Apocalypse 2024. I think it came out pretty good. So onward with now, we got Disclosure to 2025. It's our new thing that we're kind of following, and we're kind of seeing if that Stephen Greer's predictions were going to come true, like all the things he said was going to happen for the inauguration. Well, he's right about at least things coming out before the inauguration. I try to give people credit where it's due, but this co-opting of this narrative is interesting. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to play on the side of this, I think, with his new podcast, and be like, yes, I'm in contact with them, but we can't be in direct contact because of security issues and so on, right? But yeah, here we go. Here we have another kind of like wild event going on where they go out to do research, and they have their own psionics guy who, oddly enough, as much as Greer talks, he never once mentioned the word psionics. So I'm really paying close attention to how this story lines up with his. So if I keep referring back to that, that's what I mean. And nothing at 12 gauge can stop, right? Amazing, right? Right. So that's what I'm doing here. I'll try to catch up as best as possibly can during this, but let's listen to some more.
So he was flying the egg.
And then when we had to pull him out of this, that's
the
when
scientist guy was flying the egg down.
Dropped.
Wow. So at
Egg
the very
drop.
moment that he's essentially detaching his mind from the object, you see it fall.
Correct.
This is this guy's lagginess, not mine. And it's just amazing that this Australian dude, I can't even remember his name, from News Nation, is selling this like, wow, that's just amazing. It's just the same thing as like Dana Carvey and David Spade. We're like, whoa, this stuff's blowing my mind. I'm crapping my pants, dude. You know, and he's just throwing bullshit after bullshit at man, we'll talk. And by the way, for everybody who's new, I want you to make sure that you know that you need to have a zebra badge ready, because we could go into full code zebra alert. I'll explain a little bit about that later, but you know, just have one ready, because if you don't have a zebra badge on when full code zebra alert goes, then you run the risk of getting eliminated, because that's part of the protocol. You see, and these aren't rules that I made up. These aren't rules that I made up, but we do got a super chat. So while we're at a break, let's just go ahead and do this. Grimm's Bar, my friend, how you doing, brother? Thank you so much for the super chat. Name one thing the government has done right. Aliens require not only it being done right, but done right for 70 plus years. That's a tall order. Well, this is a secret rogue military corporate group that has black budget money. No, I'm not picking on Australia, but I can if you want. That has black budget money that you know is 1,000 years. Now this is Greer's words. 1,000 years of technology ahead of our own military, can shoot down actual aliens. They're actually threats to aliens. He's never once mentioned though about psionics and taking over flying the machines. I bet he will now. But but these guys are on deep underground. They got 7 black ops sites. He's been flown to all of them. You know, and he's been told, and then he arranged a handshake between them and another group of Navy SEAL Green Beret Delta Force people that want to take them out, because see, they're becoming a big threat. And really, they have 0 point energy, but they won't give it to us. And they came from the Lockheed Skunk Works, where they have everything you can imagine, but much worse. So they have teleporters, but you know, teleporters that are so advanced that they're much worse than what you would imagine, or holodecks, or phaser weapons, or emulators, or replicators, or you know, medical scanners, you know, all that shit that you see on TV. Steven says they already have, and they've had it for a long time. So these guys evidently have this stuff, and they don't want to give it to us, because then, you know, they can't do something like, you know, come out once a year and troll us with drones. And so they've been waiting forever and ever and ever for some reason. And I guess the ultimate conclusion to this is that they want to use it to pin all the bad stuff on the aliens, who are really the good guys, right? They're so tolerant that they let us shoot down 2 of their crafts a year or more, and just keep their friends and their family as prisoners, because they're not hostile. If they were, they would already take us out, according to Greer. Right. All right, let's get through this. I can go on and on about this. You guys know, you've heard it. I'm kind of just recapping for the new folks that are here tonight. And thank you, all new folks that are here tonight. It sure is awesome to have you. And look at this great crowd we have, man. Sir Frank Otter, my friend. Skunkworks is a shell of its former self, but still top notch. Right on. And look at this. Look at that. 21 months. You're welcome. My solution architect, Shelly. Top level secret. She already has her zebra stripes on, so she is safe in case we go into a zebra alert. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep on watching here and see what we got next here. Again, just remember, zebra badges for zebra alerts.
Professor Gary Nolan was there that night too.
What I did see was an individual who, in the midst of attempting to call such an object. It was clear that he was in distress at the moment of the supposed interaction.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
And at that moment, something is seen. When we reviewed what it was that the person on the roof had seen, both by drawing and by videography, something showed up.
Can we see the egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see it.
Here's
Look at the egg.
frame one. It passed across our entire 69-degree angle of view in 0.84 seconds on our sensor. It comes into frame here.
So that one there does look like just an upright oval egg.
Oval egg.
And is that similar to what you've seen in the program?
Oh, yeah. This is exactly the same thing.
Okay,
Aside from releasing data and footage like this to the public, we're told this video was among those sent to the all-domain anomaly resolution. This
similar to what it does look like just an up.
God bless America. Why is it always through a damn window? Oh, there it is. It's through a window. Always through a window. So now, if I had my iPad, this on my iPad, I would take that and I'd scroll straight into it as deep as I can, right? Take a screenshot of it, right? And then I run through some editing software and try different filters over it. But it's always through a damn window. Always through a damn window.
Right, oval egg.
Oval egg.
And is that similar to what you've
An
seen in the
oval
program?
egg.
Oh, yeah.
The oval egg. It's more from more.
Exactly the same thing.
Aside from
It's
releasing data and footage like this to the public, we're told this
Right?
video was among those sent to the all-domain
know.
anomaly resolution
It's like you're
office,
there
or
when it
AARO,
really happened,
the
right?
Pentagon organization responsible for monitoring UAPs. The egg resembles the UAP encountered by US Navy fighters off the east coast of the US in 2015.
Okay, this is again in my UFO alien rabbit hole series, where I basically take people from the beginning of where your awareness about it, how people get all the way down into believing there's a galactic federation of light out there already organizing us like Star Trek, this whole evolution to the 5th and 6th and 7th and dimension or whatever. They think that we're supposed to go through, how they're watching us and they're babysitting us basically. To see if we can evolve to be part of their great federation. And when we do, oh God, things are going to be so freaking awesome, right? It's very new agey. And I take you all the way through that, from Ancient Aliens to Project Disclosure to Galactic Federation of Light to through all the little ins and outs. And one of the programs I did was a Winning Saturday Night Special with Kaiser Pineapple, who was really into this stuff. I don't know if he still is now or what the guy does, but you can see him featured in the trailer. He's the one that he was singing to me, right? So we talked about this. We're like, why is this always training footage? Why is it always over water? Why is it always? And we listened to the guy, and like he was believing this stuff, and I was trying to be like, okay, so I'm gonna basically try to troubleshoot it, and we're gonna question to the void, because that's what we call as analysts do, right? And we're gonna ask all the questions, and we're gonna learn about. We went through what these things meant on the side, everything. And I was like, do you hear the guy talking as he's going, woohoo, got it, woohoo. I was like, you think it's an alien, a foreign alien object is coming and it's within your range there. You're on a training exercise, right? And you are, all of a sudden alien tech or maybe foreign adversary stuff is in there. You should be on high alert. You should be at a very professional level. This guy sounded like he was basically training on how to lock onto something at a high speed. Right. He sounded like he was a noob kind of training on it. Right. And that's what it really came out sounding like. And I was like, every time they release something, the government releases some of this stuff, it's always some kind of military overward training stuff. I was like, why is it always like that? What they haven't released is the real drone incursions over the military bases. They haven't. I mean, some of this stuff is wild. Right. You don't see a lot of people re-showing that. You'll see stuff like this all the time. And I'm like, well, this leaves it to the imagination, doesn't it? We don't know what we're dealing with. Is that a message to us or a message to our enemies? Or is it a message to, what kind of games do they play with everybody else in the world? And then we just play around as participants. We think they're talking to us and maybe talking to somebody else. Anyways, I did a whole program on this. I broke this footage down already. I got a couple super chats rolling in. So let me go ahead and combine these two into one with this special presentation. All right, talking trash and truth, $5. I want my special clip for the dudes and for me. There you go. There's Shelly, and that's talking trash and truth, and that is her special clip. She does have her own special super chatting clip that I play for her as a thank you when she super chats. And that is it. And you can catch her live on her show 2 times a week, Tuesday and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern over on Talking Trash and Truth. And you will love that community over there. Madcore, Mofro, my friend. I keep going to call you Madcore Mofro because that's how I met you. But now it's just Madcore. All right, $20 Australian. Thank you, my friend. Here, have some of my Trump meme coin winnings. All right. Did you win some Trump meme coin? Man, every time something like that happens, I'm like not in the right spot to buy it. I'm like, man, I'm just not. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll start some winning. No, we're not starting winning crypto. We're not doing that. I'm not going to get involved in that. Greer mentioned a huge reveal in the next, and this is it. You're here. This is it. His first big reveal is that he started a new podcast. How about that? How convenient. Because someone needs to be out there telling the truth, right? The second is this guy who doesn't seem to know him at all. Let's get back to it.
Suggesting a connection between these anomalous objects. But until now, it's never been shown to the public, making Jake's mission even more critical. The Skywatcher team feels it has to push the federal government to act. Witnesses at the congressional UAP hearings.
I covered this whole thing. We didn't learn a goddamn thing from this. And we came out of it feeling like it was just a bunch of snow being blown up everybody's ass.
Have been saying the same thing.
The Pentagon,
Mace, has been
intelligence
debriefed,
community is treating us like children. It's time for us to know the truth about this. I think that we can handle it.
Jake Barber has been
Got an
to
outpost?
Capitol
What's up,
Hill
outpost?
too. News Nation has confirmed that this fall he met.
Okay, this is the biggest proof I know. I mean, I didn't realize that we had a Vulcan, but you can clearly see that Marco Rubio is a Vulcan. So I'm pretty sure this is the best evidence we have. And he'll be Secretary of Defense.
Staffers for Florida Senator Marco Rubio.
I mean, it's only logical to have a Vulcan in charge of right now, right? We need a Vulcan in charge in case, and we do have first contact.
Now President-elect Trump's pick for Secretary of State.
I feel I was able to fill in gaps that have been there for a long time that no other whistleblower has been able to do.
A lot of people aren't going to believe this. What do you say to those people?
I'm not here to make anyone believe anything. It's exhausting.
Holy shit, Madcore. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. It was one of those things, man. I know I saw the name come out there and I was like, dude, next time you decide to do something like this, will you just drop me a DM? Dude, you're the king when it comes to this stuff. Would you mind just dropping me a DM and be like, oh, you might want to think, hey, mate, you might want to think about doing this. Even if it goes south and I end up losing, I won't blame you. At least you tried, right? At least you tried. But yeah, this next time I could use 35 right now. I really could. I could use that. That would have been phenomenal, actually. So just next time, let me know. I'll get the money even if I don't have it on hand at the moment. And I will go to Coinbase and buy it as fast as I can, and then let me know, please, man. I could use some of that easy money right now. All right. Thank you, though. Thank you, and congratulations again. I'm always happy when things go good for you.
You will know us by our fruits. Stay tuned in.
These are this sounds like the guys that Guru's been talking about, doesn't it? I've met several of these guys, but they don't want to talk about him.
Project is about to do, and prepare to be dazzled.
These guys don't look like they're getting ready to take on freaking deep underground 1,000-year technologies ahead of us, thousands of years ahead of us in technology. Basically, could snuff us out with a thought, and now they're steering like UFO eggs with their minds. Hard to keep up with this shit.
I don't know yet. Guys,
Just the end of it. Okay, this is a bunch of just like, if you know anything, let us know. But we don't have anything on record saying that we have any of this stuff.
News Nation.
All right, what's up?
I'm gonna pull it back 50 seconds and pause it just in case.
All right, I don't need to hear that from you. All right. We can do our own commentary, but thank you for showing this. Are we done here? Is that it? Is that the end? Oh, good lordy. That is it. And he went done. He went done. All right. So, aftermath time. Aftermath time. That's it, huh? I guess that was it. Anything else we want to go back over? I mean, this guy looks legit. Let's see. But that doesn't mean he's telling the truth. I mean, that's the whole thing. There's been plenty of people that have been involved in things in their life. And then who knows? Maybe he is just go out there and put a story out. I don't know. Usually when stuff like that happens, something big military-wise happens. So I don't know. All right. Thanks, Guy. Thanks, Guy, for your letting us snipe your stream. I probably wasn't as amazed as you were about it, but you know, you got to kind of be careful. So Greer's story didn't line up with that whatsoever. That's kind of what we're looking at. That's the big deal. Let's go find out what's going on the Xverse out there. If there's any kind of, well, see, I told you so. But he has a lot of explaining to do. He's got lots of explaining to do. I can close that now and close that. He's got some explaining to do. I'll get rid of that. Okay. All right. So, man, these sites, dark mode, guys, dark mode. It's all about dark mode. Greer. Okay. Let's see. Did you put anything out? Come on, that was your whistleblower, bro. That was your whistleblower. Oh, here we go. Dr. Stephen Greer. Dude's already got 250,000 followers. Oh, he's up in DC, huh? Okay, so episode 1, episode 2. Is this episode 2 condensed? We'll be so lucky. Yeah, we know you've been trying to do the same thing here for a long time. Okay, so I'm just looking at what he's putting out. This guy. Okay, so let's go ahead and what time is it? We might as well watch episode 2. Oh, might as well watch episode 2 of his podcast, and I'll break it down. But you can see, like, when I show you this, like, it doesn't coordinate. Yeah, he's talking about the same thing. He's trying to pick the same guy. There he is. There he is. Special Steve. Right. All right. And we'll put it like that. We'll do it at winning speed, which is a lot faster.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Dr. Stephen Greer podcast. My name is Michael Mazzola. I'm a filmmaker who is.
Oh, and say, oh yeah, we have to be careful when we go into. Oh yeah, so you don't understand it. Let me explain it to you real quick. Let me help you understand this if I can find it. I had it saved. I was like, I might as well not even take that video down because I keep showing the same clip. But I might have actually. Oh, maybe it's right here. No, Miss Morgan. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. I'll find it. You got to understand what this is. And believe me, once you understand what it is, it's very important. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's never too far away. The only thing I have to do is wait for YouTube to catch up. So I don't. Okay. This is for you, Snipe. All right. Here we go. We'll go back to that in a second, guys. Hang tight. We have to catch up all the new people on what Zebra Alert is because we're going to be talking about Greer and lightly it could go off at any second here. Okay. So basically, I'm going to let him explain it to you. All right.
This man is not a
Admiral Panic. They went to a full code Zebra Alert, which means if you don't have a Zebra badge on your lapel, the Marines with M16s kill everyone in there.
This man is not
Admiral Panic. They went to a full code Zebra Alert, which means if you don't have a Zebra badge on your lapel, the Marines with M16s kill everyone in there who shouldn't be in there. And they didn't know what this thing was. And so he got on the hotline to Moscow. It wasn't ours. Admiral panicked.
Okay. So hopefully that clears everything up. Right? The Admiral panicked. They went to a full code zebra alert, which means that if you don't have a zebra lapel, zebra badge in your lapel, or some kind of zebra to identify you, right? Because this is a while ago. Things have evolved a little bit, right? Then Marines with M16s will come and kill everybody in there that doesn't have a zebra. This is our own people, but this is for your protection. This is for your security, right? So soldiers will kill other soldiers if they don't have the zebra alert badge on, right? Stephen Greer, he's got one, right? Because he's an emergency room doctor who started a new age cult to talk to aliens through meditation back in the 90s. That's why, right? So and that makes sense, doesn't it? So anyways, so the after Marines have just cleared the room of everybody who doesn't have the special zebra badge, right? And could have been their best friend, could have just been talking to them about their kids like 5 minutes earlier. 5 minutes later, bullet to the face, right? So then what you got to do is from your home base of operations, you get on the horn to Moscow, your enemies, and you ask them, what the hell is that? What the hell is going on? And that is the proper procedure, according to Dr. Stephen Greer, of how full code zebra alerts go down in the Navy. Now, if you watched my episode last Wednesday, I did a little bit of a breakdown on zebra alert where I actually went out and got real knowledge of what condition zebra means in the Navy. And I had an awesome dude come through here. What was his name? Thinking something. And he was in the Navy, and he helped clarify some of the stuff on that as well. But yeah, that is it. You don't want to you got to have the zebra alert badges, because whenever we talk about these sensitive UFO topics, they could go off because we don't know what the hell's going on. And, you got Stephen Greer in the picture, and, people were after him, and they're aliens or whether they're humans. It doesn't matter, because he lives a life of intrigue. He is the world's most interesting emergency room doctor turned new age grifter. And man, you just can't get enough of this dude. So let's listen to what he's going to say. And this the reason why I'm playing this now, this is podcast episode 2, right? Is that this corresponds to what we just watched. Now, this is another reason why I play this, is so people can learn about how things like this work, right? And I'm not talking about UFO technology. I'm talking about how people informationally take advantage of other people. And really underlying all this is, if he's telling the truth, then awesome. I'm ready to have a holodeck and a transporter and a lot of other convenient things, 0 point energy, all that stuff. These guys he's talking about, they're hogging all the 0 point energy to make microwave burritos and coffee down in the underground bases, and they ain't sharing it with anybody. So, I mean, that I'm excited about, So, I mean, honestly, I'd love it if he was right about all this stuff. But, here we go. We'll listen to some of this, and you can see how he's going to try to basically say that the guy that we just watched that was on the other dude's show that didn't mention him one time and didn't even take him to the big use your mental abilities exercise, right? Is actually his whistleblower, the one he's been talking about the whole time.
Collaborated many times with Dr. Greer, and I'll be asking a few questions. Dr. Greer, why don't we kick off with the big news
that's
that is breaking right now?
Sure, thanks, Michael. I've spoken for some time about a group of people who have worked at black sites out west in sensitive operations, where I have visited those sites. The leader of that.
Of course, you're going to get Dr. Greer out there. Guys, you know what I think? I think we're going to bring Dr. Greer out today. Oh, yeah, the disclosure guy. Yeah, let's bring him to our secret base. What do you say? Show him around? Yeah, here we go.
Team has come forward. He had a little cameo on News Nation yesterday. That would be Wednesday. That was talking about his involvement with the crash retrieval operations and what have you. There will be more that will be coming out Saturday on that same show.
Yes, you'll have your food replicators
So
too.
tell me about the moment when you realized that you were involved in a retrieval of non-human technology, alien tech.
So
You have to make
it
your
became
own.
very clear
You have to
the
make
first
your
time
own.
our communication process and procedure was modified. And then just visually looking at the object on the ground, you could tell that it was extraordinary and anomalous. It was not human.
What people need to understand is that this has evolved a lot in the last.
He always brings some more fear monger. He's like, oh, people got to understand. Get scared. Get scared.
2 months. As of this past summer, that individual, Jake Barber, and his team, as well as people from other sites who are working with him, we're going to just collect.
We are working with him. By we are, he means he, and by working with them, he means in his imagination. I believe. I mean, did you see Stephen Greer anywhere in that whole thing? I've watched 3 episodes of that News Nation thing. That was the big one. That was the big enchilada, right? With the helicopter footage. They built you up to that, right? But Greer's been kind of tagging along behind that the whole time. So
a lot of the evidence of the crashes, the bodies, the retrievals, the man-made craft.
It's like they just contacted me out of the blue 20 months ago.
Hand them over, and we put it out publicly. Then they decided to do it through some government process with an office called DOPSR, which clears things that are going to be written and released at the Pentagon, DOPSR. You can look it up. Another one of those alphabet soup acronyms in the government, which are endless.
He loves to do that.
But those are the ones who review something you're going to print or release that's of a top secret nature.
Mhm.
And then also they
buying time.
decided to unmask themselves. I've talked about this in the last
They decided to unmask themselves. Okay. These guys are unmasking themselves.
month or two, that this was a very big development, a very good development, that instead of it being an anonymous drop of information and intelligence and images without provenance, because this happens all the time in my situation.
Did he say provenance?
Someone wants to remain anonymous, they give me information, but I can't point to where it came from. Which, of course, people then say, well, maybe Dr. Greer got that from some unreliable source, or it's not legitimate. So in this case, their bona fides are extremely high. They're going to be a zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert. Zebra alert.
This is for real, guys. This is for real.
Zebra alert. Kill everyone in there.
For real.
Zebra alert. Kill everyone in there. Zebra alert. Kill everyone in there. Zebra alert. Kill everyone in there. Zebra alert. Kill everyone in there.
Mission accomplished.
Okay. Keep your zebra badges on. Don't tempt the wolf. He's right there. All right. Okay. So hold on. Hello, Moscow. Hey, yeah, we got a full code zebra alert going on here. What the hell was that? Did you guys get that? What do you mean? What? No. Did you guys full code zebra alert? Did you guys see that? What the hell was that? What? How do I expect you to see it if it's going multiple times the speed of light? I don't know. Look, I just do what they tell me to do here, right? When it's a full code zebra alert, we have to follow protocols for your safety and ours. Okay, and this is the phone call you get, the courtesy phone call. So what the hell was it? Don't worry about it. Oh, all right. It's all good. You guys good over there? Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll call you back later if we get another zebra alert. All right. All right. Okay. Thanks again. All right. Bye. Okay. So I just got off the line with Moscow there, and they seem to be fine. So we're gonna stand down the zebra alert. We will stand down zebra alert. The full code zebra alert has now been stood down. Wolfram, make sure you clean that machine gun before you put it away, and let me know how many more bullets I got to reorder for next time. Did everybody make it through okay? Do we have any casualties? Anybody break protocol and get shot in the face or anything? Did everybody make it through all right? It gets so confusing when those things go off. I have to do what I got to do. I don't have time to check it out. So anyways, let's get back to this. I think that we are good to go here. You know, as long as nobody got timed out during that for not talking with the zebra badge. Well, this zebra alerts go off, we'll have to time out the people who don't have zebra badges, just to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Like, we don't want to have blood on our hands, but you have to follow protocols. You guys will understand that. So like, whatever you say, make sure a zebra is tagged on it, just to be safe. It's protocol. It's for your safety, ladies and gentlemen. It's for your safety. All right. So let's get back to this thing.
In terms of their long-term involvement with these operations, decades. And the other part of it that's very exciting is that because they're naming themselves, they're adding the credibility of having been there and are currently boots on the ground at these facilities, right?
Did the guy tonight talk about facilities, deep underground facilities, or did he talk about moving an egg-shaped UFO from one place to another, and then trying to call it in with a psionics expert, the guy with the band of psionics? I didn't realize the band of psionics was an eye pillow. It kind of puts a whole damper on the D&D. I had the band of psionics. I played D&D for maybe 5 minutes, but the band of psionics, I remember the gosh darn band of psionics, man. I had that shit, and I imagined some cool looking band around my head, right? I could do, and it's like Aquaman looking, like, circles come out from it, and you're just like melting people's brains. That's the kind of band of psionics that I'm talking about here. But anyway, so that's what he talked about. He didn't talk about going to any deep underground bases or 1,000-year ahead of alien technology. So it's very interesting how they play off of each other, right? One griff playing off the other, maybe. PSYOP playing a griff playing off a PSYOP. I don't know.
It's not like they were there in the 60s or 80s or something. These are current operations. From firsthand people who are operational there, who have been
firsthand people operational, because these are all operational
special forces
people.
And and embedded with corporate activities at the Lockheed Skunk Works and Northrop Grumman and what have you.
Yep,
that's really quite a major development. Now,
skunking it up the place.
Evidence that exists is way vaster than what you're going to see Saturday. It's going to come out in parts over the next couple of months, and a lot of this is strategic on their part to see how does the public handle it.
How are we handling it, guys? Everybody okay? Is everybody okay? Are we all right? Is everybody okay? Does anybody need anything? Does anybody need to go into the crying room? It's a crying room. Do we have a crying room? Do we need to build one? Is everybody all right? Remember the crying rooms from the Am I Racist documentary? There's Black Fragility or whatever it's called. Council meetings or whatever. They're big white fragility meetings where they tell white people they're bad. They have crying rooms. Like, they have these silent crying rooms people go into. I was like, man, those are really popular. Do we have a crying room in case? Are you guys handling the disclosure okay? Helicopter moves something. Are you guys handling that? Did the strategic placement of this tonight, did it work? I need a blankie. I need a hug. I'm hit. All right, can we get a medic over to Amazing Disgrace, please? Amazing Disgrace looks like he knows what he's doing now. Is that a sniper rig? What am I looking at here? Is that a dog laying on this? I think I'm seeing what am I looking at? My eyes deceive me. I think I see a gun here and like somebody looking through it here, but it looks like it's maybe a dog or something, like a German Shepherd. I don't know what I'm seeing, man. I'm seeing all kinds of things. Great avatar though, but for some reason I think I'm seeing like a sniper rifle and a dude, a sniper, basically tuning in to a scope. I could be completely wrong. Snipe Hunter's got a dog. He got his dog. What's up, brother? All right. Dog sniper. Okay, I got it. All right. Dog sniper. Perfect. Okay. So you guys all understand. The levity of what's going on here, and or the gravity or the anti-gravity of what's going on here. And so Stephen's explained to us how they have to cautiously roll this out, and because people like us, we can't handle shit like this. Obviously, we're not a emergency room doctor or something, and if we were to get too much information at one time, we may just have a panic attack.
What does the media do with it? And more importantly, what pushback and dangers are there coming back to them from rogue elements of government programs, whether it be law enforcement or other activities. And we've talked about this before. Mr. Brush said this.
Law enforcement or other. Did you guys put that video out? Well, you're under arrest. Law enforcement activities are here, and we are here to tell you that you're under arrest for putting out a video of a helicopter moving something from one place to another. Yes, we can't have any of that. Thought you were going to get away with it, didn't you? No, sir. T-Rex Trucking and more is disclosure tonight. $5 super chat. I figured it out. This guy smokes weed and takes LSD, gets high, and just writes down what he's thinking about and then states it as if it's true. It's pretty much, I mean, maybe. We know that his first out-of-body experience, he was meditating in the hills of North Carolina and near Elon College, which I've been to and partied at. It's a party school. And he was meditating, and suddenly it was this night sky, and the full Milky Way was involved. And, you know, somehow he meditated all day long and he had just had a near-death experience, or was and a UFO flew by, and then the UFO picked him up, and then he was flying in the UFO. But during his near-death experience, he had talked to two consciousness, not one, but two. And they decided he should go back. And so anyways, yeah, it's quite an interesting story. You can go back to Wednesday night's Unveiling Reality to hear all about it. I go through the whole thing. I'm fighting with the Gaia Network over freaking copyright claims on it. So go watch it and tell them to shove it. Anyways, let's get back to this.
Under oath at the House last year, that there have been people killed, and we know this. There have been people I've been associated with that have been killed.
Yeah, you don't seem to care.
There's a delicate situation, because it's one thing if you
they brought up this whole like people on this team being his team, quote unquote team, being killed, and he just glazed right over it. And Dana Carvey was like, "Wow, that really sucks." It's like, you know, it's like kind of like he's like, "Well, you know, well, let's get back to my wild story here." He didn't seem to care that he was personally responsible for getting people killed, and just rolled right off his back. I mean, it's a doctor, damn it.
You do it anonymously, it passes through a couple individuals into my hands, and we disclose it, which has happened for 30
Yeah, which instead it went to Kurt, the other guy, News Nation, and the Kurt Patrick guy. But somehow it got to your hands too. Were you arranging the handshake, Stephen? Is that what it was? I mean, where is this guy? You got Mazzoli. You got him all wrapped up in it now. But where's all this stuff? You know, other people you're not getting invited to the party, and I wonder
30
why.
some years. Information, and some documents.
How you doing?
Images.
Thanks for saying hello.
Like this. It's an archive, DPIarchive.com. Go and see. There's a huge cache of stuff there that no one's looked at yet. But when you're naming yourself and you're operational, and you're in a program where, let's just say, if you become too problematic, people tend to be erased or arrested or harassed or what have you. So that changed everything 2 months ago. And they are running their algorithm
they're running the algorithm
operational security needs.
OPSEC.
And of course,
run the algorithm, please.
Cooperating with that. So my intention as the founder of the Global Disclosure Project 30 years ago is to be sure that they are safe.
Here's his objectives with the global. It's not just here now. It's global disclosure. Is now in the house. By the way, guys, I'm dropping the link right now over to the Rumble stream that we got going on. We're only 4 people away from hitting 600. That 600 climb has been like, whoa. Looks like we've been climbing to 600 most of the year. No, actually, last year we had a great year. But let's just go ahead and hit 600 in January of 2025. That'll put us like in a good pace to hit 1,000 by the end of this year. So if you guys are there and you're Rumblers, man, you want to support the channel, follow that link on over to Rumble, and please follow and thumb up, because thumb up over there is what it's all about. That's how you get more people to know that you're streaming, I guess. But if you could do that, that'd be awesome. All right. So, global disclosure, he wants to make sure everybody's ready. Okay. That's what Dr. Stephen Greer is here to do.
And try to get this information to the widest audience. But more importantly, Also
Why
gauge
does
from the connections
the whole world
that we have on my team inside the incoming administration and the current members of Congress.
He's got, you hear how he just smushes that on in. He smushes it on like my team inside the transition of the new administration coming in, like, but it's super secret. So you're never going to know who they are. Right. And they can't tell you for their own protection. Hold on. And, but so now he gets to claim I got people on the inside of the transition team too. All right. And hopefully they will meet up and then they'll have like a handshake of some kind. And, we'll get to talk about it. Maybe Stephen Guerrero will be able to come on the show and disclose things for us. Boy, man, that would not go well. It may be the most amazing night ever. Maybe I could just shake him out of you, Stephen. Look, man, it's time to stop. You've got your worth $6.6 million. It's time to stop. When's enough, Stephen? Look, give me $1 million. I go away. All right. Give me $1 million. I go away. I don't blow up. I don't blow your grift. I don't talk about it. I don't get people to realize how every single technique that you're using, to control their mind with narratives and information. No, I just go away. Go away. Right. Hey, thank you so much, Trish. Thank you so much for following over there on Rumble and hitting that thumbs up. Thank you. I know that's so generic, but man, it really does. But getting that 600 is like climbing a freaking hill. Oh my God, at the last, let me just reach over the top and try to get over the top. And then I'll be standing on top of the 600 mountain with only 700, 800, 900, and 1,000 to go. It's just like, oh, there you go. Thank you, TJ Snipe Hunter. Thank you. All right, man, we're getting closer. You guys are probably going to be part of the Fantastic Four. You're basically making history. You will always be remembered in the Winning Reality lore as the 4 that got us to 600 on Rumble. I mean, not only that, but just 4 new awesome people rolling in tonight as well, to be part of this amazing disclosure stream. All right. So anyways, I interrupt Stephen too much. Let's let him talk a little bit more.
How that's going over and what the appetite is for supporting a path out of these illegal secret programs.
Illegal secret programs. So you take, that's for anybody who's new. This is why I'm kind of like filling in. Because like a lot of people here, we've already been down the rabbit hole with Stephen, and we understand for the most part, understand his narrative. But what he's talking about here is that the secret underground illegal operations he's talking about is this group of people, like I said, that were military, corporate, ex-skunk work people, whatever, right? Who have shot down alien tech, reverse engineered it, and now have it for themselves. And they become a threat to the aliens, the good aliens. And what they're going to try to do is pose as they are the bad aliens, right? And this goes along with this whole disclosure thing he's been talking about forever, right? And then have us give our power over to them to protect us from the aliens. You see, that's the end game that's going on here. And that's what he's worried about. So that's what we talk about, and to stop these illegal activities. Now, you notice the guy tonight didn't say anything about any of that stuff. They were more concerned about, getting what this thing was they moved out into the public so they could just discuss it, and whatever else they moved that made them have these medical issues. That seemed to be what I got out of the Jack Barber reality, dimension, or what do you call it? Universe, right? And then you got the Stephen Greer universe, and they collide somewhat. They're together in some way, but they also are different in very many ways. So it's kind of like having a multiverse. We've got a multiverse going on, which is cool. All new for 2025. We're going to get into the multiverse now, where in one universe, Stephen Greer is involved, and then the other, and it's like completely different. In the other universe, it's something different. And we just get to ride right along the line of both of them. Isn't that fun?
Or is it going to push back and shut down further? So in a sense, what's coming initially is sort of,
sometimes I get on a roll, and he deserves to be rolled back about 10 seconds.
These illegal secret programs, or is it going to push back and shut down further? So in a sense, what's coming initially is sort of testing the waters, poking the bear, and putting up trial balloons.
Testing the waters, poking the bear, and putting up trial balloons. Why not? Why not? Let's just do it that way. Who decides that? Who decides that that's the way we're going to do it? Is they got our marketing department or something working here? Well, marketing and sales had a meeting today, and we decided we're just going to throw some trial balloons out, poke the bear a little bit, and we'll see. I mean, well, we want full disclosure. We want full transparency, yet we're not going to give it to you. We're going to lock it in just a little bit because it's for your own protection. I mean, the last thing we want is for people to go crazy and have panic attacks and all the crying rooms fill up and then you can't get into them.
This makes sense to people. And that's a rational approach when you're gone from releasing things anonymously through a whole huge network that we have versus doing it where you're named, name, rank, serial number, who you are, your whole identity is known to the public. That is a very, of course, a very different color, my friends. So that is why it really went through this whole metamorphosis since we first began talking about this. Now, keep in mind, I've known this gentleman, Jake Barber, and people on his team for about 20 months, 19, 20 months now, when they first reached out. And I've seen a beautiful evolution from being completely in the shadows to wanting to move and cooperate with disclosing certain information, but it would have been anonymously, to now coming out fully, which is much more powerful, but it's also riskier. So, there are these trade-offs, and that's why I'm trying to give people some context to understand that. And I think what we all need to do, who are concerned with the truth and a future that is peaceful and a future that involves wonderful new technologies to reboot human civilization on a sustainable path, is to protect these folks.
We're all concerned about that, aren't we?
To our elected leaders, that they institute the protections that we've been recommending for decades. I mean, if you go into our archive, you'll see that in my correspondence with Bill Clinton, President Clinton, back in the 94-5 time range, after I briefed his CI director, every one of those,
which he denies, by the way. Watch this.
Executive order recommendations that were present then are present now in the briefing document for the incoming president, as well as past presidents that we've dealt with. At this time, it looks like there's a very positive development in that regard, because last night, quite late, and I know I called Michael right away. I got 4 executive order drafts from a source I cannot name.
Michael,
that pretty much goes through that.
Michael, it's Steven. I'm sorry it's late. I've just gotten 4 executive order drafts here. He's like, really? You seem to always just keep coming up with stuff.
I mean, it literally, one of them, Executive Order 1, is to establish
Executive Order number 1.
A coordination office on UAPs, UFOs in the White House to get to the bottom of this. And again, I'm not going to bore you by reading the text, but I have it.
Yeah, don't read it.
The order number 2 is the interagency coordination and having all different agencies coordinate it. And they keep using the word disclosure. Everyone.
Yeah, you came up with that one, didn't you?
One of these executive orders mentions the word disclosure. And then there's one that's been asking for, that's enhanced protections for the whistleblowers. And it goes into the need to have them protected by all means necessary. And that is something that we have been asking for 30 some years, because remember, if you want to see whistleblower testimony, go to dpiarchive.com. You're going to see, I think,
yeah, you're not going to see real whistleblower. You're going to see a bunch of people claiming to be on, but the stories are vast. Look, if you want to see all that stuff, my UFO alien, it's called From the Beginning to End, the Alien UFO Rabbit Hole playlist, right? It's literally, I think, this episode 3 and 4 of that, because we have to start out with Ancient Aliens, because see, in order to even get to disclosure, you have to believe the aliens are here and possible. And it's not the whole thing of the logical thing of like, in a universe this vast and large, it's impossible to believe that life doesn't exist somewhere else. Yeah, of course, right? It just doesn't mean that life's been here, or that we have any real evidence, or that people aren't always trying to get over on other people using this kind of thing, right? What we want is real stuff, man. I would love it. I would love to live like, Star Trek land. I mean, believe me, I'm all about it. And I was open-minded and listening to this stuff, and I still am, but I was eagerly listening to this stuff for many years. That's why I know so much about it. I never fell into the cult or anything and believed all that stuff, that I was some kind of indigo kid or something. Star seed here to plant and bring us into the evolution. All that stuff always seems so muddy and so like, unrealized, right? And then you wait and you wait and you wait, and nothing ever happens, right? So they miss every deadline. Oh, this big disclosure project, it's going to come out. I'm talking to every administration, yet none of them do a damn thing about it, huh? Yeah, well, that's because of this other group's putting pressure on the other group they don't know about. I mean, the story is so bad at this point that it has so many holes in it that you can just, if you know it, you can always refer back to it and be like, well, what about this? and then they have to come up with another excuse. So anyways, yeah, that's we've talked. You don't have to go watch hours of the Disclosure Project where a bunch of people go, I promise I'll go to Congress and testify under oath. They don't want you to go there, right? They don't want you.
115, correct me, Raven, if I'm wrong, or so named people who are already been interviewed, name, rank, and serial number. They're not anonymous, that are in the Disclosure Project collection that I have personally debriefed. Now I've debriefed close to 1,000.
Yep.
And you can see there are a whole bunch of redacted names that didn't want to come
So
forward
easy
publicly. We
control
already have
opposition,
115 that are named, and these include people.
People think controlled opposition is like a handshake or blackmail or something like that. Dude, you just have to put somebody there that knows how to work the other person. In fact, handling, that's the best way to do it. If you know every time something happens that you want the waters to be muddied on, and you're the establishment, right? And you want to maintain power, maintain secrecy or whatever, right? All you have to do is go to the big mouths and tell them what they want to hear. It was a CIA inside job. It's aliens, it's alien tech, and then they go out there and go, well, I got more proof, and they're sniffing for radiation. It's a lost nuke warhead, right? And you get the useful idiots come out there. They don't even know they're being used. I wouldn't even call them useful idiots. They're just people that are trying to do good, and then they know they're what their reactions are. They know where they are, right? They know that if you give them this, they'll go say this to 1 million people plus, right? And so I've talked about how controlled opposition isn't as controlled as you think. It's more like handling. It's just like, you got to be Machiavellian to think like this, right? So if you are the corrupt establishment and you want to discredit everybody who's outside of your establishment mind control narrative, right? And which is just basically keeping people boxed into a narrative that you produce and telling them that everything outside the narrative is complete bullshit. And if you believe it, you're a racist and you're part of the bad guy team, right? The perceived bad guy team, right? You're all these things that people will hate you for if you go listen to those bad people out there, right? And then you're just locked in. Or then some people are too high or too careless or too happy-go-lucky to worry about it, and they're too adjusted to their belief systems to challenge it, right? They're not interested in that. They got things going too good. I got $100,000 at the bank. I got all kinds of shit to worry about. I don't feel like worrying about this shit. I'm just going to vote in my best interest. I'll watch 5 minutes of television and decide who to vote for, right? And that 5 minutes of television is the establishment narrative. So yeah, Trump's bad and all that shit. Slander campaign works number one. And so you have that, right? I forgot where I was going with all this shit. Yeah, there you go. There's a playlist right there. But yeah, it's just, but when you have the people that are outside the narrative, they're never going to get them back in the narrative, right? So the only thing they can do is really actively try to discredit them, right? Actively discredit them, actively silence them, and actively cancel them, right? When they can. So that's how they deal with opposition. But part of the discrediting process is like this. And honestly, I can say it my way, but Yuri Bezmenov says it the very best.
So that's exactly the martial art tactic. We don't stop an enemy. We let him go. We help him to go in the direction we want them to go.
In the direction we want them to go. So that's what I think about sometimes with these narratives and what you're saying, like whistleblowers come out, right? That's what I think. I think that they can easily be manipulated. Yeah, there is a great playlist right there too. J. Michael Waller, Big Intel, kind of love it.
People all the way back to the 60s who were still living before they passed away, like Sergeant Clifford Stone, who were on crash retrieval teams. So that has come out before. What's unique here is that there's going to be evidence of those operations, proof of it released also. Now, that puts everything in a different light because
we have helicopter footage of something, right? We don't know what it is. I mean, look, we don't know what it is, but we have helicopter footage of something. Nothing was, I don't think that anything got proven tonight, other than maybe if people were already biased towards that being a UAP of some kind, that it was then confirmed. But other than that, I didn't see what I needed to see to be convinced, though I'm still waiting to see more.
Everyone has said for 30 years, the testimony can only take us so far. We need the proof of the operations. We need the proof of the craft. And I've agreed with that, but it's not as if I can force these people to risk their careers and lives to bring those out of a illegally run, but top secret operation. And up until now, no one's had the courage to do it. these guys have had the courage to do it, which is an extraordinary development. And it's been an evolution of our relationship and their understanding of this. And they're very supportive of the objectives of disclosure, but they're also very supportive of the idea of reversing the dynamic between humans and extraterrestrials that's now either total denial they exist.
Did you guys get that impression? I mean, they had the Cyan guy out there. Let's see.
Or an aggressive, covert, unsupervised, illegal downing, targeting, shooting the craft down with electromagnetic pulse weapons, etc. Now, the team.
Did they say that? Did he say anything about that? I don't think he said anything about that. Why wouldn't you come out on the big night, right? This is the big night. He said between now and Inauguration Day. Inauguration Day is Monday. So unless they got a Sunday episode, that was it. They could project holograms back in the 90s. Who knows what they came up now? That was it. Is that what are you trying to say? Like that was it, right? That was the whole thing tonight. Was they showed a helicopter carrying something? That's why I was like, okay, what do you guys think this is? I mean, it could have been a hot tub, man. I don't know what was inside that thing. I mean, they sat it down in the middle of a desert somewhere. So I don't know, but I don't feel like he talked about any kind of rogue group that was international, corporate, black ops, the whole thing, the whole thing he says every time.
Coming forward have been part of those operations and know how they operate, up to and including the weapon systems used. And I have been out there, and I've seen the facilities, and I've been over the sites where they have.
See, he's like, I've been there, I've seen it. Why nobody's seen you do this? Why don't you have any evidence? Great Dr. Stephen Greer. I mean, this is the whole thing with him. He never brings any receipts with him. He's just like talks. I talk, right? And you can go listen to shit from 10 years ago when we were sitting in a Marriott hotel ballroom talking about disclosure. But I've been to these places. I meet these people, but I don't ever bring anything to show you.
Have downed. One side I was over 1 or 2 ET craft or NHI craft a year or down.
We talk about, I love this one. I can't get enough of this. I can't get enough. Guys, if you're new here, this is the part where he says that there's a special site where they down at least 2 ET craft a year, right? And like this is how he smears the ETs without even knowing it. He's like, they're dumb enough to keep coming back to the same place. We keep downing them every year to be downed. I mean, does anybody catch on to that? Am I the only one? This is the best Western guy I can tell. They had been rented a room in a hotel, and then that was where they had the big disclosure thing, right? They made it look like it was official, They dressed it up like it was some big deal, but it really wasn't. It was really just another Conspiracon gathering, advanced intelligence, non-human intelligence. That is the buzzword right now. I swear to God, so many people are using it. It should be a drinking game. Non-human intelligence, non-human intelligence, non-human intelligence. What does that mean? Artificial intelligence? Well, the humans made artificial intelligence, but it's not human intelligence. So advanced, they're stupid. Yeah, they're like, hey, let's go back to that place where we get shot down every year. Sure. No, that's what they said. That's what they send the new guys. Like, I've graduated. I can now fly my own UFO. They're like, oh, cool. Go to this place. It's really pretty there on Earth. Just go right there and hover around. See what you see. Come back to us and tell us what you see. Like, that's what they send. That's where they send the aliens they don't like. They're like, yeah. You know what? Could you run out and get us some curly fries from that place? Here, let me give you the coordinates, man. It's at Earth. You want to have the transdimensional fly multiple times the speed of light. If you could go out there, please, and just grab us some curly fries and come back, that'd be great, man. When you get there, don't worry, the humans will help you out, and you can just they show up. They're like, they're like, oh shit, 10 years later, they're living in a deep underground base, having to watch Dr. Stephen Greer come by and be like, I know.
And I was in Jake Barber's chopper with another special forces guy. About 50.
He was in He was in the chopper. He just said it. You heard him. He was in the chopper with Jake Barber, with Jack. Did he say Jake? Mother, did he say Jake? Isn't it Jack? He tends to get names
over
wrong.
1 or 2 ET craft or NHI craft a year or downed. And I was in Jake Barber's chopper.
He said Jake. He did. Is it Jake or Jack? It's Jake. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Okay, my bad.
With
Let's
another
go.
special forces guy about 15 months ago over that site. So, and there's another site north of there, but both of them are in remote desert locations in the high desert, in the Mojave Desert. So those operations are known in great detail by the people on this man's team. How much of that will come out has a lot to do with U.S. government support for these protections, like I just mentioned.
Why? Why does it have to do with that? Why are we depending on government again to disclose it? Just say the goddamn thing. Just say it. Just say it. No, you need to wait. You have to wait longer. We have to keep this. We have to keep drawing this out. It's going to be on somebody else to make this perfect. All right. It's like this dude's like waiting for the perfect moment to I don't know. Everything has to be perfect. Well, they've been coming here for how long? We got a rogue, military corporate group of baddies that want to do bad things, and they can kick our ass anytime they feel like it. But we have to wait, and we're going to poke the bear a little bit and throw out some proud balloons, and then now it's the government's fault right now. The government has to be willing to do it. We're making sure the media handles it right. You're not doing anything but talking on podcasts, by the way. I mean, I don't see you anywhere else, but
and then the fourth one,
December 4th.
That is the fourth one. So I don't know. I missed one.
4th.
I'm not very good at organizing these, but
you're not very good at organizing these things yet. I got this entire fucking UFO thing down, and I'm a doctor.
Yeah. So the other, there are four. Most of them deal with coordinating offices and researching this and disclosing information. Now, one of them mentions something that I brought up many years ago. Not every bit of the illegal secrecy is unwarranted. The illegal part is totally unwarranted and unconstitutional, but there are certain things that have to be kept secret. And I know many people.
Hey, while we're wrapping this up, can you scan real quick? Can you scan the X to see if anybody's talking about what we saw tonight with the Jake Barber universe? Can you scan for me? Let me know if you find anything. I'm going to finish this up here.
Have wondered why I've said this over the last 30 years. Is because some of these technologies that allow for the man-made craft to go from point A to B at several 100,000 miles per hour, man-made. If that technological capability were released in the current world, where there are terrorist cells, where there are unstable regimes, where there are nations that sponsor terrorism, those technologies would absolutely be turned into a missile delivery system, and it would be catastrophic. So not everything, it can be acknowledged we have them, but let's say the operating system and the designs, those have to be kept secret for a while until humanity gets to some level of collective
Jeremy really
security.
know everything about it?
And that brings us to a bigger question. And one of the things that we need to put into the recommendations is that there needs to be an international effort with Russia, America, China.
Okay, here comes excuse number 10, right? It has to be international. This shit ain't gonna work.
Other nation states all over the world to agree, number one, to
how do you know they're not in on it? I mean, how are you gonna get them to agree?
Cease and desist from any aggressive, violent actions against ET craft or.
Okay, Mr. Xi Jinping. Hello, Xi Jinping. This is Trump. Yeah, we need you to agree to actively not shoot at the UFOs, please. We're trying to get peaceful. We're trying to go up to the 7th dimension. Would you mind not firing at the UFOs when you see them? They're not going to hurt you. I swear to God, they're not gathering intelligence. Let me get on the line. I have to call Iraq now and ask them not to do the same. Yeah, we're going to, and Putin, he's on the fence about it. He likes to shoot at things. It's like, they always find a way, don't they? This is why he has the podcast on. So somebody has to be out there telling the truth about this shit. So Dr. Stephen Greer, once again, he's almost 70 years old. He's very tired and rich, and he doesn't need to be doing this, but he feels like he has to do it. It's more important than playing with his 12 grandchildren, and I guess he has some children too, because just has grandchildren. But anyways, yeah, let's get on the horn and make sure that should we go to the UN? Maybe we should send Stephen Greer to the UN to ask every country in the world to stop shooting at the UFOs. Will you please stop? All right. We're trying to be friends with these things that we don't know what they are. All right. We're trying to be friends. We're trying to drive their spaceships with our brains. Okay. We can't have you guys shooting at everything, right? This like Yosemite Sam in a fucking in a fit, right? We can't have that. So please stop.
For their persons. And the second would be to initiate a global peaceful outreach to them. But then there also needs to be a collective security pact where the technologies that are involved in the reverse engineering breakthroughs that have happened. We're going to get into this in a minute because this is the big thing missing out of this whole conversation.
Oh, is it?
The massive breakthroughs in technology, those are all things we have paid for as taxpayers. And those would be the ultimate peace dividend of this sort of secret war.
Oh, you mean it belongs to me then, what you're saying? My inside whistleblowers say it's mine.
Has not been declared openly between these operations being run without supervision illegally, and they're targeting the ET craft. Now, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. You're using our taxpayer money to reverse engineer alien technology that you're hiding from us, and then you're using it to shoot at the aliens. I mean, this is why we can't have nice things. Many people have wondered why I've said for years that given what we've been doing, if these civilizations were hostile, it'd be over. Because I know what we've been.
If they had a set of balls, are you trying to say if they had a spine, it'd be over? Like, you know, they're like, oh, stop shooting down our UFOs, you big meanies. It's like, what are you trying to say? I mean, the aliens are pussies? They're giant pussies? Is that what you're saying? I mean, it seems like it. I mean, do we put up with 2 of our aircraft getting shot down a year? Or do we, I mean, I don't think Trump's going to put up with that shit. Oh, it's just 2. It's just 2. Who cares? It's just 2. If it was 3, we'd have a problem. But 2, you know, we could wipe everybody off the face of the earth. Good thing we're not hostile.
Doing. I've known about these operations for over 30 years where
you just met the guy 20 months ago, and this guy didn't do this 30 years ago, but you've known about these operations forever, ever since Roswell. I mean, you gotta love the guy. You gotta love him.
We have had targeted, sophisticated electromagnetic pulse weapons and other directional energy weapons that have targeted and downed these craft with loss of life, and I might add, the capture of living ETs that are kept in prison.
Phone home. You'll no phone home. There'll be no phoning home, ET.
Underground in certain locations. So that is a fact. The teams that I've been working with who are behind the upcoming disclosures know that. There has to be a rescue effort for those.
Where were you tonight, Stephen?
People. They're not humans, but they're people. And in many cases, of course, they have been treated very badly.
Not humans, but they are people. They're not humans. They're not humans, but they are people. Are they chimeras? I mean, what hold on. We have a very clear definition of people, don't we? Is this now cloudy? They're not human, but they are people. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I got that right.
Badly and tortured and interrogated. So, and we're talking about the ETs. Now, in light of that, given their technological superiority, which was obvious to anyone with a thinking brain. I mean, when we first started doing this, the whole Roswell thing was an early electromagnetic directional energy weapon that downed those.
It was early. We got lucky with that, man. Jesus. Solar Galenius people. Yeah, it is. We got lucky with that. Exactly. The point behind all the disclosure, how much did the DOD get for UFO research in the last budget? Right? Get out there, Stephen. Get out there and do your job. You know, Stephen, we're reaching out to you because we're talking about how like awesome it would be if like he got put on the spot. Like, you know, like Trump's like, well, I haven't really talked to him. I don't know what he has to say, but I've been told that, you know, this is very important. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the mic. Come on up here, Dr. Stephen Greer, and tell us what's going on. Can you imagine? He's like, oh, you know, now he's got to go. And he's really done it. Right now he's really done it. And Trump would be like, what? You're telling me they got alien technology? We don't know about it. Get on that, guys. Get on right now. And I'm like, Mr. President, this guy's clearly bullshit. But what? I want that. I want my teleporter. I want my replicator, you know? And he'd be replicating Big Macs all day long. Like a Diet Coke replicator. You don't have to bring it to me anymore. It's right here. See? It's like, and you know, like he'd be like, can you imagine Trump listening to this guy be like, What? How did I was president for 4 years. How do I not know about this? Right? Oh, Mr. President, it's because people are lying to you. Who's lying to me? They're fired. It's like, I mean, dude, put him out in front of people and like where he has to come out and like spell this bullshit to people that could actually call him on it on the spot. That's why when Elon Musk gets brought up, he's like, well, I haven't talked to him. I just like, can you imagine Elon getting a hold of this dude on X and be like, oh, you say you talked to me, did you? You know, here, let's just talk about that. You know, I actually have real spacecraft. You know, you just talk about it, doctor. Here we go.
We were using vacuum tubes. We barely even had jets.
We were using vacuum tubes. Vacuum tube EMP luckily brought down a UFO, and that's how we got lucky as hell with the early EMP weapons. We knew where to point them. We knew when to use them. And we lucked out and we brought one of those suckers down, and now it's ours, baby.
We had never gone into space yet. That was Sputnik in 57.
Yeah, I haven't been in space yet.
These civilizations, if they were hostile, the proof that they're not is that we are still here and we are still breathing the free air of Earth. And I have said
the free air of Earth. We're still breathing the other planets. The air costs money. Here it's free.
This many times at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and at the Pentagon. So I think that is what we have to keep. People say, what's the proof of that? I said, the proof is that we're here. Given these technological capabilities, we're talking interdimensional, transdimensional, and interstellar capable. Those civilizations being
those civilizations lets us shoot down their friends twice a year with no recourse.
Thousands to hundreds of thousands.
I wouldn't call that
millions of years more advanced than we are technologically. If they had not had a concomitant evolution in consciousness and social and spiritual development, they would have said, "See ya." Right? That's what we would have done. Humans would have done that if the shoe were on the other foot. So I think we have to have a great deal of patience also with the non-human.
All right, we got a better look at this
NHI, non-human intelligence, because they have been very, very patient with us in tolerating this aggressive behavior that has resulted in the downing of their craft, the killing of their people, and then the reverse engineering of their technology, which we have then flipped around and used against them. Right? That's what reverse engineering is all about. It's to find out.
You guys understand what reverse engineering is?
But instead of
all right, I'm gonna I want to show you guys something real quick. Let's take a break from Mr. Greer here. This is a long interview, and I do what I always do with Greer. It's just so good. I can't help but butt in. Like I gotta say something because it's just so good. B-2 rockets traveled into space, but barely did that. Best thing about vacuum tube electronics with physical switches and controls, it's resilient against EMPs, right? But evidently, we had vacuum tube EMPs that brought down the flying saucer. They called them flying saucers back then, back in the Roswell days. That was not a cover up for any kind of like new aircraft, military aircraft out there. We need to go over to X real quick to check in on the X-verse to see what's going down, y'all. And I got 91 out there, huh? 91 on X. Hey, you guys, please all follow. I know. But if you just follow, I'm trying to rebuild my channel. And it would be a big help. It really would. I do. This is what you get, which is right here, man. So just real dude doing real stuff. If you like winning reality, then let's all win it together. Here we go. But anyways, let's take a look at this egg again. Let's take a look at the old disclosure. Here we go. One more time. Look at that. This is at night. They got a nice blankie around it. What are we seeing here? It is a giant white chicken egg, like chicken egg looking thing. Why would you make it white? What is that just the only color it comes in? All right. And they're rolling it around. It's rolling.
Slow this down to take a closer look.
Slow
That's
it down.
an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line.
Apparently, we don't know that that's what we're seeing. But thanks for narrating.
We're told the craft is about 20 feet long.
Did you guys see it flying? Did you see it doing anything else?
Suspended in a cradle. And look how careful
Rocket
the
Bike,
pilot
baby.
is as they bring their precious cargo into land.
That's a lot. That's
Let's freeze frame
that's an
here
egg.
to look at one of the clearest
That's not an
images of a
egg. This is an
UAP
egg.
ever
That's an egg.
taken. This is no.
That's an Australian egg, is what it is. It's bigger, badder, and more poisonous than anything on Earth.
Blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval.
Look at the
how
eggs.
perfectly smooth.
Look at how perfectly smooth. We're looking at night vision at night, dude. I don't like it when people emu egg. Yeah, it's an emu egg. You can clearly see the strings attached. I don't like when people narrate what I'm supposed to be seeing. Look at how smooth it is. Look at the aliens are obviously in there. You can tell these are aliens, can't you? Believe.
The craft
Don't know what
is.
to think.
No
I don't think it looks smooth at all. Right?
markings at all.
Well, that we can see if this damn blanket wasn't in the way. We might see the corporate logo that made the egg.
No visible means of
Alien
propulsion or way to
ink.
see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground.
Almost like it wasn't supposed to be laying on its side, or it doesn't have any way to actually balance itself at all. Like, what's it doing on the ground?
Despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas
Somewhere there's a giant chicken looking for this
from
thing.
the cradle as it's dropped for pickup. The UAP's final destination still unknown.
Probably the Barbie. All right. Hold on. It caught me in the middle of something. So, yeah, giant egg. That's it. All right. So, giant egg. This can't be real. This can't be real. Isn't it just a Chinese drone? That can't be real. No. Is that real? Did they make Chinese drones like this? You can literally buy a toy one of these. No way. But their high altitude balloons and drones programs come in every shape. Look at that. That's a blimp. That's a blimp, baby. But that wasn't it. Nah. Is that real or is that AI? Look at this. I mean, can you buy an egg drone? Hold on. What's this guy doing? What's this? Compact and portable. Give me some more. Give me more, guys. What you got? That looks like an egg. All right, I'm going to click it again. That's not an egg. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh, sorry. I thought it was a camera. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. Would you guys look at this? Isn't that precious? That is adorable. Adorbs. All right. Yeah. So you can get that. I don't know why it wants to do this every time I do this, but I can do it. Drones dropping Trump coins. It could be. All right. I guess I have to drop that there. Every time I just gotta click this picture and I'll get more cool stuff. Oh, these are all from the replies. Okay. Drones make meme coins. Power Egg XI, I think. Is that what it's called? Power Egg XI? Can anybody find a Power Egg XI out there? Is that real? No, it's not. No way. What? Nuh-uh. Don't even. This has to be fake. Come on. Tell me somebody is so creative that they come up with this stuff on the fly. All right. Fine. Play that way. I'll go here. Holy shit. There is a thing called Power X. Hold on a second. You guys got it. There is a drone that's an egg. Holy crap. Power Egg XI. Power Vision, Power Egg XI drone review. Oh my goodness gracious, how precious. It's a real Power Egg. Now, how big are these? 2,500. How big are they? No, they look very small. This can't be the same thing. Why would you need to hang it on the bottom of a helicopter? This thing fits in your hand. Okay, sorry, I'm not showing it, but it really is a thing. It comes with pontoons. All right, hold on. All right, we'll get back to it in a second. But I gotta show you this. All right, but this is small. All right, that's small. Just to be fair. There it is. Power Egg. Petapixel reviews. Power Egg Extra review. What's in tarnation is this? But it looks very small. It looks very small. So I would say that we're probably safe. It's not a Power Egg of any kind. All right, so enough of that. Enough my swerves and tangents here. Let's get back to this. I don't know. I might have to split this up into next Wednesday, I think. How's everybody hanging out there with it on the topic? It's just looking for new stuff from X to see if people are commenting on the great findings tonight. And thank you for sending me that, my great research team. Yeah, right there. You know, the team is together, and what we're doing is we're getting ready, preparing everybody for disclosure, because if we tell them too fast, you know, they're all idiots and they'll end up just killing everybody. They'll kill themselves, or they'll go on a rampage or something. Okay, so what did this guy say? Same thing. Somebody's done some stuff here. This looks good. This is the stuff I was hoping would happen. I'll get back to the Greer interview if we can. It's really long. Everything he does takes forever. Well, let's take a look at this. Like, this is what we want to do. We wanted to watch this and then find things about it, right? It's different though. Somebody has zoomed in on it. All right. I mean, it looks like an egg to me. Roly.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle. And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo in.
Guys, anybody? Somebody tell me something. Why is it so short? Like, is this all they have?
Here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP.
All night long with this thing. This is all they got. All night long. We are told, yes, we are told this stuff. We're told it. Oh man, I mean, dude, you know that we are only one subscriber away from 4,750. That's awesome. That's an all-time high. It's and thanks again to Steve Gosney for sending all these awesome people over tonight. I'll have to stop by and thank him personally. But thanks again. And we did do a great interview together. If you ever want to see Steve and I on a stream together talking, we talked about all kinds of cool stuff, by the way. None of it was this cool. I mean, it was close, but we had a great time. Anyways, so why the hell do we only get like 6 seconds of footage, and they had the whole thing all night long?
Ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP.
Okay, guys, let's play detective here, okay? What do we not notice about this? What do we not notice about
Retrieval. Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is.
What do we not see?
No markings at all. And
You guys
no
get me?
visible means of propulsion or way to see inside.
Right, but it's not moving, right? Okay, so watch this. This is what I'm talking about here. This guy.
Below the belly of the helicopter.
The belly of the helicopter. What are we not seeing? What are we not seeing? What are we not seeing? Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to be obvious about it, right? Yeah, we're not seeing evidence. But guys, yeah, dude, I should find my Gosney opener. I need to play that for the Gosney crowd. Okay, hold on. Actually, you know what? Winning Star Reality has that on there on his channel. That's my twin. That's my artistic twin brother. I'll go find it on his channel. Let me see. I'll play it for you guys right now. Yeah, there we go. There he is. The way you can tell us apart is he has green eyes. I have blue. There you go. Oh, look, it's right on the front page. There we go. So what we're not seeing here, though, before I lose my train of thought, is helicopters, right? They have big propellers on them, right? They blow a lot of things around when they're trying to come down and land, don't they? We hear the helicopter, right? We don't really see the helicopter. Any of my veterans out in the crowd want to comment on the helicopter and the likelihood that we're not seeing what we should see from helicopter drop? I mean, maybe like I said, I always refer to experts on things like this, but I know some people have been involved in helicopters around here. Would you expect to see a little bit of dirt blowing somewhere? Right? And they set it down. Even when the thing hits the ground, there's not a little poof. There's nothing. What are they putting this? What is this material that are at? They said they're out in the desert somewhere. This is dirt, right? We're looking at dirt. This isn't like some kind of like claymation or something, right? It's dirt. Where's the debris? Where's the debris? All right, Greg. This is for the Gosney crowd here. I got to do this here. I love this one. I make intros, usually make intros for everybody who comes on and guests on my show. And I think that if you like Steve Gosney, you will totally appreciate what I'm about to show you. And here is his intro for when we did that interview, that awesome interview. I think you guys will completely love this. Make sure I got the volume up. All right, here we go.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
There you have it. The Steve Gosney intro. You can see intros like that and much more of our Winning Star Realities channel. Takes too copyrighted for Winning Reality, but too good not to be on the internet. I think that's his logo. Yeah, you can tell us apart because I have blue eyes. See? There you go. Makes it real simple. All right. That was a nice little detour. I like that. All right. So yeah, no dust. Did you like that? Cool. Yeah, right. I like the contrast of the Mr. Rogers versus Anthrax. I love Anthrax. He loves Anthrax. We both love Anthrax. How about that? I was in the music industry I played for 30 years in the music industry, on tour, on the bands, all that shit. I'm retired from now that stuff. Now this is what I do. that and dad and all that stuff. Yeah, man, absolutely. Glad you guys enjoyed it. We're awesome. We love having you guys here. It's awesome to have new folks in the house hanging out that are so cool and bass like you guys. Rock and roll. Yeah, we are so close to 4750, man. One more sub and we hit the 4750. That's awesome. How are we doing over on Rumble tonight? Are we there? Did we hit 600 yet? We're so close. Oh man, one away from 600. Let's get back to hold on. Oh my god. Sometimes my nose is itches. All right. Let's get back to this. Anything else awesome out here? Hold on, what's this? Okay, let's check this guy out again. We got more stuff coming out. All the other people are out there too. They're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. They're talking about it. There is some buzz going on. Let's check this out. On December 22nd, Jake Barber appeared on News Nation with Ross. His name's Ross Coulthart to promote his tech company. Coulthart claims Barber's Skywatcher Technology Corporation had been helping the Pentagon track mystery drones, but the company was formed only 3 weeks before that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Co-founder of Skywatchers with Cynetics. Oh my goodness gracious. What do we have here? Filing date, November 27th. Oh, that's an unlucky day, isn't it? 2024. Shelly knows what I'm talking about. She's like, what? Oh man. Yeah, Red Eye Winning got delegated to playing games. So that's where he's best served right now. That's winning games. He's now winning games somewhere, not around here. But that was like, so I have to get into it. Well, actually we're triplets and, one of us has red eyes, one of us has green eyes, one of us has blue eyes. We all sound the same. Skywatcher Technologies Corporation. I thought Skywatchers was a group of truthers who were trying to get disclosure out to the damn government, right? Filing status in Delaware, huh? Well, here we go. Let's listen to what's going on here.
Jake Barber and James Fowler are with me now. Jake Barber, what can you tell me about the work that Skywatcher's been doing on location in New Jersey?
Yeah, so Skywatcher, we provide services, broadly speaking, in aerial intelligence, aerial observation, and trying to compile sensor data in a comprehensive fashion to allow people like the law enforcement agencies working in combination in New Jersey to begin to form a picture that can translate into what we call actionable intelligence, to be able to identify what's going on. The why and who are where we're focused right now. Who is operating the activity, and we'll add another one, what, because what is in question as well. What is operating in the skies over New Jersey? Who is in command of the craft or et cetera that's operating in the skies over New Jersey? And then ultimately, the biggest question that everyone is having fun speculating on right now is why? Why are they doing it?
So this guy, don't you love it? This is why we do this stuff. So this guy, right? Big disclosure night, right? Needs a drone detection technology company when he has like all of access to all of this 1,000 years ahead of our own government, alien reverse engineered alien technology. And that's why we're going, dude, you guys see it now? I mean, look, I get it. I want alien stuff to be true too. I do. I want all the cool stuff. And I understand when people get so excited because this world can be crappy sometimes, right? And we need somebody to come save us, right? But the only people that can save us is us. So we gotta stay based and work together and just come together with people that can actually keep level heads on and bring more people out of the darkness. We live in an age of deceit. It doesn't matter whether it's the establishment lying to us, a conspiracy grifters lying to us. There's plenty of people out there that try and take advantage of you, infuse you with information, right? That's what they're doing. And that's part of the demoralization process that's been happening in our country. See, they have no morals when it comes to doing that. They don't care. You're there to be used, to manufacture your consent for whatever they may want, be it an agenda, a profit, no fame, no notoriety. It doesn't matter what selfish intention it has. But they don't have any respect for you as people, as human beings. That's the problem. That's the problem I have with conspiracy grifters and with the establishment, the corrupt establishment. They basically one helps the other. And it's just I get it. You got people that are on the outside. Maybe they've been misled. They've been confused. I get it. The door is open. Like I call it the second awakening, when you got to realize that the alternative narrative isn't the be all end all of truth, right? You still have to learn how to discern that stuff too. That's the second awakening. And once you get that past the second veil, we call it here, right? Once you get past the second veil and you realize that just because you left the first veil of the establishment narrative, that you aren't free, safe, free, and clear, right? And if you know that narrative, that establishment narrative exists to keep people boxed into it, to make them to control their actions and their thoughts, right? If you know that exists, right? Don't you think the people who made it know it exists? And don't you think that they know what happens when you get outside of that box, right? And that's what I've been trying to say since way back when, since like 10, 15 years ago. I've been doing this. Guys that are new, I've been doing this for a long time. I just haven't had the channel up and running and been in front of the camera ever until really recently. New Year's is when I went in front of the camera, but I've had the channel for, I don't know, 2 years now, maybe, or 3. I can't remember. It all runs together, man. Everstream never stops. But way back when I discovered that there was a concerted effort to mislead people who were, in those days we're backing Ron Paul, right? That's where I came from. That group, that Spur group that was trying to save the country from the corrupt establishment, because we recognized there was a false left-right paradigm in place between the neocons and the establishment Democrats, right? And as we were still learning stuff, many other things were going down, but there was this other group of truthers out there that would just jump on every conspiracy and then try to run it into the ground. And they didn't want to listen. They were like the guys in the establishment there, didn't want to hear what I had to say about, or anybody had to say about their mainstream media being corrupt propaganda that was lying to them, right? They would resist you at all costs, call you all kinds of crazy names, right? What do they call you? They call you a crazy conspiracy theorist. And then when you go to the other side, a bunch of conspiracy people, right? But some conspiracies are true. I mean, the conspiracies are, I think, really just part of life. People conspire all the time. The biggest open conspiracy out there is the WEF's Agenda 2030. That's very real. UN 2030. They really are trying to do that. That's for real. That's something we should be worried about and doing something about, because it affects all of us. But then you have a bunch of other people who grasp onto it and take things so far, right? And to what ends? They never have any solutions. They never come up with any new results, and we never make any progress on it. So it's kind of like a stalemate in the world of the second veil, where there are no solutions for you. What I have here is I've gone beyond that and said we need solutions to make changes, and changes have to be made generational. So when you start to peel back the second veil, you see that there's a cycle of abuse and a cycle of control going on by these global ownership, the global ownership class, right? The elitists that are out there have this cycle going on where they maintain their own wealth and power by making sure that us here run through the cycle of abuse on a generational level. That's why kids are so attacked and they're gone after and they're manipulated. You subvert the young, you change the culture, you control the outcomes. Well, you have a bunch of people that escape that because they're based, or they have good parents, or they just happen to be lucky, right? And then they fall into the realm of not controllable, right? So you have to discredit them. You have to create opposition between them, and that's how you keep your other main base and your activated base and behind you, and you maintain your power. But if they can't have that cycle of abuse and control, that will make their power go away. We won't need them. So we're on the brink of doing something about that. But honestly, their primary weapon is cultural Marxism, critical theories, divide and conquer kind of thing. I'm going way off base right now. But anyways, but anyways, so that is something we talk about a lot here. I'll just say that. Let's get back to the topic at hand, because I know how I am. I'll start going on a tangent and explaining this to the new folks, because I want them to be interested in it, and I want them to, consider what solution culture is about. That's what it really is. Solution culture is about putting in preventative measures on a generational basis that will help stop subversion in our world on a generational basis. Like most of the people we know these days are going to be grifted and gone. They're never going to really know the true nature of reality, and that they've been smooth. They've been, had the wool pulled over their eyes their entire life by the corrupt establishment. Other people will never realize that they've been grifted by grifters, and that's just the way it is, right? But some of us escape both worlds and can see the truth for what it is, right? That there is truth amongst the lies out there, and that we have to be based and fight against that the right way, and that's by arming kids with the mental antiviruses, like Trivium and Socratic method and real history and real academics and things like that keep them and keep the critical theory out, keep the critical all the variants of critical theory, which are just cultural Marxism dressed up, right? Divide, conquer, oppressor narrative, all that bullshit. That was just bullshit to begin with, because that stuff never comes true. It's just a way to trick people into voting against their own, supporting their own, something that's out to get them, right? Basically supporting tyranny, supporting authoritarianism. It's just a way to manipulate them into that, through a story that never comes true. The entire story of Marxism never comes true. It's a grift. It's the world's oldest, biggest, most dangerous grift out there, that any of that stuff's true or possible, yet people still buy into it, right? Because we've been normalized to it over generations. We have to weed that out over generations to change, really make a change, a lasting change, and one with preventative measures, so it doesn't ever come back. Problem is we get wise to it, and a few generations later everybody forgets, it comes back. That's happened numerous times. That's why we keep having these world wars. That's why these countries keep falling for it, and that's why when we were on top of it decades back, it's overrunning us now, because we didn't take the final step into preventative measures and keeping it completely out of our culture, and then educating people on how to resist it, resist subversion. That's the one tool we didn't have. Anyways, I digress. If you want more of that, come hang out with me and I'll talk about it all the time. But let's get back to these guys. Again, so here we go. This guy needed to he's got all the 0 point energy and all that stuff, but he needs to sell drone technology. What's going on here?
James Fowler, what are you seeing? I mean, we don't even know
James
for
Fowler,
sure, do we,
bastard,
that these objects are drones, do we? What are they?
This blinky dude, man, in the middle, right? Well, we should start with, everybody thinks they're pretty sure they're drones, right? Let's start with that. I mean, we did this whole thing on Drone Apocalypse 2024. I broke it all down, right? Walk it in base, don't jump the shark. And we can, just by questioning to the void, it will take things off the board and figure out what it is and what it isn't. We figured out many different narratives kind of rolled into one, but that's still the ones that people are reporting with the FAA lighting on it. Those aren't military drones. Those aren't spy drones from another country, right? Those are personal commercial drones people are using, right? Well, and still it doesn't seem to get through to some people that spy drones and military drones doesn't use that type of lighting on it, right? They don't seem to get it. They still believe what they want to believe.
I would offer that we do know that they're drones. They are probably, in military parlance, Group 3 drones. That would be 3 to 5 meter wingspan.
With blinky lighties.
Craft.
So are we able to speculate? Have you, in the work that you've been doing, been able to track where these objects are coming from and going to?
Well, why don't you use mind control? I mean, where's your psionic guy?
So in terms of where they're coming,
this is the guy's first appearance back on the show, and now suddenly he's the whistleblower.
Going from,
and he's David Greer's buddy.
Being investigated. We have knowledge on where they're going in terms of what their target area might be. We have knowledge on where they are.
Right, Wolfram? Yeah.
But in terms of where they come
they keep
from,
showing it over and over
that's
again.
Being investigated currently now. There's a lot of speculation out there looking at the ocean. There's a lot of speculation looking at places.
The whole thing with the ocean too is, anybody ever seen a goddamn drone come out of the ocean? Can drones actually fly out of the ocean? How the hell do propellers spin? What is there even an aircraft that can launch out of the ocean? There's the ones that can land on it and come up, right? So maybe they're like landing on something, but like bursting out of the ocean. What this is an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So wherever the drone base is, it won't remain a mystery long for the public.
You promise?
It is discoverable.
Oh, don't worry. He's on it. The wherever they are, that we'll find that underwater base. God damn
So,
it.
by any definition, this is a national security threat. What we're
At least if you drum it up that way, is it really?
talking about
Or
here
is
is
it
potentially
sensation?
a nation state. Are you able to speculate who is deploying military-sized drones?
Yes, it's the
over some of our
Luxembourgians.
most sensitive military facilities?
It's
So I would
Luxembourgians.
offer this is this is more gray warfare than it is black and white. This isn't traditional World War II style. Hey, there's German airplane, there's American airplane. It's more
Okay. If the Iranian drones can launch out of the water, then why do they need ships to launch them off of? Because we did the drill down on the ships with what in the world's going on with shipping. This guy who does shipping, his channel is all about shipping. Like I find experts like that are off the beaten path when these things happen, that are actually really involved in the industries at hand. And he was the one who pointed out that, that Iranian ship, and basically it was like some kind of tanker or freighter that they had what the Iranians do is they take a freighter and then they adapt it. Like they're like, they build onto it like the Borg or something, and then they have their drone launchers on the side, right? And so when that guy came out from Jersey, I think it was a Jersey guy, it probably was, and he goes, "Well, I got proof that it's an Iranian ship off the coast that's doing all this shit." I went to that guy. That guy's like, that Iranian, both the ships that they have that we know about are sitting over in Iran right now, and basically showed on, because they use this called Skywatch or something like that. No, wait, Skywatch is on the screen, isn't it? It's called Black something. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's on Drone Apocalypse episode 1. I believe I talked about this, and basically these ships that they said that were off the coast that were supposed to be the motherships. In fact, I did a breaking news segment on it, so it's breaking news. It's always they're always the Jersey guys, anyways, so he showed there's no way that those ships are the one, is off the coast of the U.S. One, the Coast Guard and Navy would have a field day if anybody ever tried to come into our waters to do that bullshit, especially Iran. They'd be like, "What? Zebra alert!" Right? But also they would they showed where they were. They said, "Man, we know where these ships are at all times. They're always being tracked. They're always being tracked." So anyways, yeah. So I don't think that they can launch them out of the water because they need ships to launch them from. So I don't know though. I mean, I just you said try to prove you're wrong. I can't prove you're wrong. All I can do is say it's just the guys. It's just the guys. All I can do is say, well, if they can launch them out of the water, why do they need ships, right? That's all I can say. Okay, here we go.
Disguised in that. I believe that right now we're looking at a conflict within our government of
see they
is
mix
this an act
up
of
the
war, or
footage
is this a
all the
criminal
time.
action?
Like, got
Now,
this,
Jack
you got
Barber,
that. What's that, guys? What's that?
The commander of the Picatinny Arsenal.
That's the one I like to show with the car size. Car size flew over my house. Like we talked about how people can't look up and really judge
Put out a
distances.
press release about a
It's
week
just
ago
not-
stating
it's not a
that there
human
had
scale.
been 11 reported confirmed
This
incursions
is his size,
by apparent
all that
drones
shit.
over the Picatinny Arsenal restricted airspace. Have you and your Skywatcher team confirmed those ongoing breaches of the airspace by drones?
I've been on Picatinny Arsenal this week. It's a pretty calm place. I'll tell you that it's clear to me that the Picatinny Arsenal is not involved. This isn't some exercise that they're complicit in. They're concerned just as much as everyone else is.
And Mr. Barber, have you actually confirmed, I think you've got vision, haven't you, which you've shot through night vision. It actually shows these objects disappearing or apparently turning their lights off over the Picatinny
Yep.
Arsenal.
Correct.
Okay, these are towers. You can see the towers right there, right?
Correct. Or in the vicinity at least.
Or am I
They're
just seeing
in
this
and
wrong? 'Cause
around
it's shaky,
the airspace
bad
over
footage once
Picatinny
again.
Arsenal.
So let me explore what I think are the quite dramatic implications.
You come on national television or somewhat national. I don't know how it says nation, right? With bullshit footage like this. This is a thing about the UFO alien rabbit hole. It's always this. It's always this. It's always this, man. Nobody's going to give you some good stuff, right? And that's what eventually wakes some people up. Like we had somebody out there next tonight who's watching. Thank you for watching out there next if you're watching, right? Who said, I'm so tired of this stuff. It's always a shaky footage, always blurry, behind some glass, right? Behind something, over the trees, between the power lines. I've seen it all. I've been looking with a root cause analyst eye at this stuff for decades, and I've never found anything I think is credible at all, not even close, right? And then you find it when you do see something that may match up, you find out it's something else or that it was from a different time than what they're saying it was, which automatically discredits it.
Behind what you two gentlemen
Always
are
the bull.
conveying to
He
us
brings
today.
bullshit on. Look at this. This is so convincing.
Essentially, what you're describing is a well-resourced possible nation state that is deploying what sound like highly advanced drones,
Sounds like to me, you're putting words in his mouth.
multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars drones, each one of them, in some cases clusters of 50
Landing lights
in operations against the east coast of the United States. But by
All
any
right.
measure,
I
that
wanna
is
see how
a
big this
national
runs. Let's go.
security crisis, isn't it?
100%.
So yes, and I would offer, if you recall the harassment of our fleet in the Pacific off the West Coast, that was believed to have been conducted by the Chinese off of a cargo vessel in the vicinity. If you look at Langley Air Force Base, the incursions there last year, a Chinese national was detained at the perimeter or in the vicinity of Langley Air Force Base, recovering a drone from a tree. So if we look at the past performance and even add to that the incursion of the Chinese balloon over U.S. airspace, it pretty much points a finger to the only entity that has a past performance of conducting incursions U.S. mainland airspace, and that's China. So are these Chinese drones, I would say, based on the past performance of China operating in the United States? Very likely. The addition of a SATCOM technology, that's not really that bespoke. That's available in kits. You can do that with homemade items. But I would offer flying a 3 to 5 meter drone in a formation over tens or hundreds of miles, standoff from the launch point and recovery. Okay,
Added to
that's
cool
nation state
things.
activity,
There we go.
especially when you consider more than one drone.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I guess
All
we'll
right.
have to check in with Skywatcher as your investigations go on.
So he's like, okay, so he had him on. They said he's been sitting on this story for a year. Then he comes on as a dude from Skywatchers, which is now a drone watching company, right? And now somehow it's been spun into that they're a deep underground black ops group. He didn't mention any of that here. That is freaking weird, man. What the heck? Today is the beginning of the end for you. Okay, let's take a look at this. Hold on. I'm going to get down low here so I can move over here and see this. Every single craft flying in the sky was made by humans. Real Stephen State, New York Post, essentially business. Okay. At middle of mania. Every craft flying in the sky is man-made. Why is it just repeating the same thing? Crash retrievals are a real thing. Things crash and people go retrieve them. My dad did crash retrievals in the Navy. Crash retrieval of alien spacecraft, however, is not a real thing. There's no evidence to support that, despite the wild claims of the same dubious people. Oh. I don't know what he's doing here, but I thought it was interesting for a second, but I guess it wasn't. Well, happens sometimes. Any other exited outs going on? Any other exited outs? That's interesting that this guy was somebody, it came on as this guy, who the same thing, right? But now Skywatchers is trying to communicate with psionics. Guys, I think but then Greer co-ops this dude, and this guy doesn't acknowledge Greer. What do you think is going on, people? Crazy, right? Crazy. Craziness. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. All right. There's me. I'm hearting it. Thank you so much. It's time to turn over and see that. Okay. So, where we at? 3:15. We're 3 hours, 15 minutes, 11 p.m. How you doing, Wolf? Are you doing okay out there? Yep, there's our landing lights. That's what I figured. They love showing that. Is there anything else out there? Doctor Disclosure. Come on. Do you got anything? I'm gonna have to do other research here. He just keeps putting out the same damn thing. Do you have psionic abilities? Do you have psionic abilities? Do you? You might. If you can, have you ever flown a UFO with your mind? If you can, I think I know some people that might want to talk to you. You might have a new career ahead of you. News Nation. Man, they are just gonna, the old egg shape. Practical. I mean, what came first, the alien or the egg? I mean, last time I saw an alien pop out of an egg and hug someone's face, and then another alien bursted out of its chest later on. That doesn't sound the kind of fun I want to have. Skywatcher should have warned us about him. Oh, I have to go, but I will check back for future lives. Yeah, ring the bell, dude. Ring the bell, because I'm critically shadow banned there. But great fun and good info. Critical thinking is important, man. Yeah, thank you for being here. Great to meet you. Thank you so much for finding us and then coming and hanging out, giving this little channel a chance, man. I look forward to seeing you soon. I do 5 shows a week. If you like audiobooks, on Monday nights we listen to audiobooks. We're listening to Kash Patel's Government Gangsters right now. We're about halfway through it. I have a library of that. I do 2 like newsy kind of shows a week called Winning Tonight on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Wednesday nights, I guess, are going to be, disclosure for a while until we figure out when they're going to jump off this grift or what's going to come of it. But we got lots of stuff going on, so come hang out with us. We'll be live for the inauguration on Monday, so that's the next thing to look forward to. We usually do a Sunday night show with like documentaries and a movie, and I do have a good documentary coming up about J6 and Soviet tactics, kind of intel tactics mixed into it. Really good stuff. And we'll be watching that soon, as well as the Tommy Robinson documentary about the UK grooming gangs and whatever's going on over there. So we have a couple documentaries lined up to watch. It's playoff season Sunday. My team's in the playoffs, and I got to be there for that. So we'll be taking a little bit of a break from Old School Watch Party Sunday, but we'll be back. I think we did this last year too, but we lost in the first round, so didn't take very long to come back. This time, I hope it takes a very long time to come back. All right, so there you go. But I look forward to talking to you and seeing you soon, Snipe Hunter. Let me just kind of fuel things down here. Let me find out if there's places to go, people to see. We'll continue this UFO disclosure conversation on Wednesday nights with Unveiling Reality for now. That'll be what Unveiling Reality is doing. That'll be the thing. Did we make 600 tonight on Rumble? We need one more follower. Can we do it before we leave tonight? One more follower on Rumble. I want a real follower, somebody that's out there that hasn't followed yet, right? Please, 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 please follow us on Rumble so we get to 600 tonight. Let's see, anybody else going out there? I don't see. Is that angry? No, it's not. Okay. No. Nothing. I need more friends on Rumble. I gotta go find more friends. See, oh yeah, we gotta figure that. We gotta finish we're going through the Frog Wings concert as our jam on out. So I need to get back to that. Kill that. Let me find my playlist. Full Zebra Alert. You guys so funny, man. You got John Popper sitting in with the Frog Wings band. And if you don't know much about Frog Wings, Jimmy Herring, Derek Trucks, O'Teal Burbridge, Kofi Burbridge, God rest his soul. Butch Trucks on drum, God rest his soul. And Mark Quinones, the percussionist from the Allman Brothers. There's a really, really great big group of people here. And I've been playing a little bit of it every week. Because, you know, Why Should Panic usually plays us out. Okay, so we play like half the song and then I cut out, right? So you can enjoy that. Donna, what's up? How you doing? Dana, Ronnie. How you guys doing? Good to see you. I didn't see you earlier. I'm sorry. But good to see you guys. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to see is there someone to send it to. You guys, I know. It's worth sticking around for the song though, man. I really do go through a lot. To make sure you guys have a great musical experience along out the door. It's so much. It's really hard to find great music. No, it's not. I know where all the great music is. What we got here? Why is Wrestling Days live? Is there 3500s live? Valhalla awaits. I've been sending people over there a lot lately. What else? Anybody new? Yeah, why not? Goats are always fun. Why not? All right, goats are fun. Okay. Oh wait, 2 else. Why is it so hard to find? Is it already done? Is that the problem? Am I looking at a done stream? Yeah, it's over. Okay. Or is it? No, it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, everybody loves baby goats. All right, so that's set. There we go there. Let me get that. Let me do this. It's all right. Hey, look, man, it's important to make a good entrance and a good exit. That's why I do it the way I do it, right? We got to make a good entrance and a good exit. It's what I owe you guys. And that's the way it's going to be. And we're going to like it. All right. So here we go. Without further ado. Oh, no, that's not that one. Yes. We're on our way out with John Popper, Frog Wings, Sitting with Frog Wings, a great band from back before the turn of the century. That's 1999 to you and me. Yes, I'm going to pass you over to Valhalla Waits, a good friend. He's got baby goats. You should enjoy that. It'll be a nice break from alien takeovers and shit. You know? Something nice, something new. I hope to see you soon, Amazing Disgrace. It was a lot of fun having you and hanging out with us tonight. And we'll see you real soon, that's for sure. Okay, guys, I'm taking off. I'll see you on Monday night for Unrigged the Game. Thank you so much for being here. As always, you are the ones that make this happen. And as I cue this up, all right, make sure that I start you on a good note here. I like to say that, yeah, I had a blast too, man. We're gonna figure this shit out eventually. We're gonna figure it out eventually. John, are you gonna talk? John needs to talk. John Popper, you guys remember him?
You got a ground here on this thing in a barbecue.
Oh God, nobody grounded it. You got a harmonica player. You got to ground the mic. Damn it. Here we go.
Sorry that you took me like you did before. I had a little.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. Had a great time tonight. Thanks for being here on this very special winning Saturday night. I will see you guys Monday night at 3 p.m. for Unrigged the Game. And until that time, everybody stay based, stay irie, and keep on winning.
And when he said this, I appreciate chance, I'd like to make you dance, but these are victim of another circumstance. You'd like to hurt you just like you never. Went on to operators, little tale of a wild we was so interesting that I just couldn't go. From Dollar Grave for King and Queen and how he crawled. Went back in 68 to street that monkey duck. He asked me if I had $1, could I buy him a pie? I knew if I had the cash, it would go on all night. He spoke of love and the environment every now and again. Just a cliche tale, give you call where and when. And he said, no, you kids today don't know what's up, and I'm too tired to tell you why. And of course, I just laughed it off, but secretly I wish that he would try. Cause if they had the chance, I'd like to make you dance, but he's a victim of a moment of a circumstance. You'd like to hurt you just like you never.
This